And 3, 2, 1, the Anything Podcast.
Welcome. What's going on, everybody?
I'm Chris.
No, you're Schwarzenegger.
My Schwartz is bigger than yours.
No.
I'm
Rumpelstiltskin.
your Chris.
Yes.
I'm Aaron.
Maybe.
All right.
You're not George.
Definitely not George.
And not Wolfgang.
Not Wolfgang's a spider. And George is a stink bug for sure.
Yes. But what about Rumpelstiltskin?
Rumpelstiltskin. All right. So my first question, sir, is minimum wage is going to be raised to $15.
Where? Because some places
It's
it
federal.
already is.
Well, federally now. The federalies have decided that it's going to be raised to $15 whole dollars. Thoughts?
Stupid.
Agreed. Do you think it should be a lot more or less?
It should not be at all.
Okay.
There shouldn't be a... Okay, first of all, there's great things about free market enterprise, and then there's bad things about free market enterprise, and it's called greed. I mean, people should pay what they're worth, but then the problem is the cost of living goes up, but wages don't go up. But when you decide to instate a mandatory minimum, like what they do at the state level and even local level at some places, because local can be different than state, and then state can be different from federal, but federal is basically essentially the bottom floor of the minimum you can go. And so that just means it hurts anybody who is in that range who's making above minimum wage but below the new minimum wage. And then also it still hurts the people who are making slightly over the minimum wage, because now all of the costs associated with an employee have to go up, which means the products and inflation and everything starts to go up when they're just like these people might be happy because instead of making what is it right now, $9?
I think you're in this area, yeah.
No, in this area it's 11 or 10.40 or something.
Okay,
I'm talking about national.
Federally, I have no idea.
Whatever it is, I think it's like $9.
I think it's $7.25 federally.
Maybe it might be even that bad. But yeah, if you do that low, and then you say, hey, we're gonna go from $7.25 to $15, that's over double. That's you're going over 100% increase right there. It's probably going to be tiered, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, it's up by 2020 or 2022 or something.
Yeah, but that's not even tiered that much.
It's not.
That's like fast.
Yeah, it is.
That's still going up 100% or over 100% though increase. You know, now those people who are making the $7.25, $8, $9, $10, $11 an hour, they're going to be happy because they're like, oh, I get to make $15 an hour now. But all of your stuff is now going to increase, because if you employ minimum wage workers, guess what? You have to pay your employees. Your cost of doing business now just doubled in terms of your employee turnover. I mean, not turnover, but employee cost. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to lay off people, and you're going to have to raise prices to be able to combat that, because you need to be accustomed to a certain amount of profit to be able to work or to appease investors or to be able to pay investors, because, hey, guess what? They get paid on top.
Yeah. And they're definitely not going to make less profit.
No. So, and then it's going to hurt everybody who's making minimum wage or slightly over that. So anybody who's making like $15 to $20 an hour range right now, it's going to hurt them even more, because they're already over double, maybe close to triple what minimum wage is, but now they're going to be right back where that net is coming for them. Like, the easiest thing I could think of is, like, think of a big fishing net.
Yeah.
You know, that's just out there. You got one boat here and you got one boat a mile away, and you got this giant fishing net that just swarms everything. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it picks, but the fast swimmers, who in this case get 18, 20, 22 an hour maybe. So they're the fast swimmers, but hey, guess what? That trolling boat will slowly reach up to you, and you might be a fast swimmer for a little bit, but then, hey, that net's going to get closer and closer and closer until it just grabs you, and now you're in that net too. So yeah, it's a problem. I don't like minimum wage to begin with. I think it had its benefits at times, but I think that in today's day and age and the way technology is and the way then also if you're going old school with inflation, talking about a lot of different factors, you know, you need to establish a new way.
Yeah, for
essentially. Like the gig economy is cool, but it's got so many problems with it because it's so brand new. So everybody's considered an independent contractor when in fact they're really not. And that's the big problem right there. But that's a new way of looking at it. Now the question is, are they trying to enforce or create laws that will make these gig workers like Uber, Lyft, Postmates, Delivery Drive, Instacart, all those, are they going to become considered employees and do century-old laws that govern over employees, or are they going to try to stick with this independent contractor status, but then kind of merge the two together and then form a new sort of employee independent contractor hybrid, and then kind of people can set their own rates or people can do their own thing to maybe stay ahead of the curve. But again, the whole thing is, it's like, well, if you are doing so much inflation per year and then your wages don't go match that, and then they're like, oh, well, we're just going to take this and plop it up to this range. Well, that's not going to be doing anybody any good, because the only people who are still going to make out is if you're making $75,000-$80,000 a year or more.
Yes.
Or if you're building business that's growing and getting to that point where, it's starting to get much, much bigger than, $10 an hour, $15 an hour. But it's going to hurt anybody who's making minimum wage and a little bit higher, which is a lot of people.
Well, that's my concern. So when I started working in the workforce a long time ago, I think minimum wage was $3.15, if I recall correctly. Mm-hmm. So what about a person who, and when you start at $3.15 an hour, Jimmy, work hard and work your way up, and you'll become, assistant manager. Then you can be the manager. Then you can be the regional director. Then and you'll work your way up to $15 an hour if you work hard over the next 20 years. Mm-hmm. So that person who did that, starting at $3.15, worked their way up, skipped ahead, became a regional manager for $15 an hour. Well, what are they going to do now? Mm-hmm. That all of a sudden a burger flipper, no offense to them, they're making the same amount as this person who worked for 20 years to work their way up to that income.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a burn job.
Not only that, I mean, take a look at like EMTs.
Yeah.
And the amount.
Great example.
First of all, the work that they have to do and the amount that they make.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Is insane. And then, you get a fast food employee, which doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that job out in any way, shape, or form. It almost takes zero effort.
Yeah. Fast food is a difficult job, but that's why it is fast food.
But it's also
you're not a skilled worker.
Yeah, it's not a skill. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
And that's the big problem. So and then here's the best part with the fast food workers. They're coming up with ways to have essentially robots make your food. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you've seen this, but they have it's like two hands or mm-hmm. two arms with hands that can chop, dice, knife, everything, put burger together, everything it needs. And you line up all the condiments that you need, and then it just does whatever it does.
I've seen the burger flipper that they had for a while, but they stopped using it, and I heard two different reasons. I heard one, it wasn't good enough, and two, it was too good. Who knows why?
It probably was that it was working, but somebody probably said and cranked it and jacked it up. Yeah. But no, they have the hands that can essentially go and do the same job that a fast food worker can do.
Sure. And
they're saying that essentially you only need two people at a McDonald's location or any location like that, whether it be McDonald's, Subway, whatever. Mm-hmm. You'll only need two people because you'll need this somebody who can service the robots when they go down.
Yeah.
And you'll need a manager there.
Probably need someone to clean everything.
Well, to clean, to make sure everything's stocked, and then to handle customer complaints.
Good. Who wants to be, people are like, oh, it's going to take away jobs. Who wants to be a fast food worker? Who's like, you know what? I just love frying these fries and I love talking to angry customers. I just can't wait to get to work and talk to those people that I fucked their order up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Who wants that job?
Some people do. I mean, they take it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. It's a necessary job because there's
is.
a lot of people who want fast food.
Well, people need money.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, people need money.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, though, fast food workers are supposed to be kids in high school.
Yeah.
But the problem is the workforce got so messed up in previous years that now older people are starting to go there and, turn out those jobs to what kids used to take, and now it's not the same. I mean, kids in high school and college, that's what they were going to do. And then, you don't have that today. You have older people, like elderly, who are going to McDonald's and Burger King and working there in the kitchen or up front or something.
Yeah. And see, I think the problem that I have with it is if you use this water bottle for as an example, this weighs a certain amount of water. There's a certain amount of water in there. And it doesn't matter whether you say that this is 15 megaparsecs or 27 fluvornobles worth of water. It's still the same amount. So by changing the scale, saying, oh, we want $15 an hour, you're still having the same amount. People are all still doing the same amount of work physically. So you're just calling it something different, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
So anybody who's caught in the net or will be caught in the net, is going to love it because they're like, oh, we're going to make more. But then on the flip side, costs go up.
Yeah,
your job could be in jeopardy because now that shop or that place can't afford to have you on staff.
Right.
Like
you're not making more. They're just calling it something different.
You're making
the goalpost.
No, you're making more, but you're spending more because your expenses are going to go up.
Yeah,
instead of spending $100 on groceries, now you got to spend $240 on groceries.
Yeah.
Because
instead of $1 cheeseburgers, it's $10 cheeseburgers.
Well, it wouldn't be that high, but yeah, I mean, your dollar menu will now go to $2 menu.
Yep, exactly what's going to happen.
Or it'll just be called the value menu, like it went to, and it won't necessarily be $1 anymore. It'll be $1.50 or $1.75.
No corporation that is ever going to stop making the massive profits that they make.
Yeah.
So you can change the scale at which they pay people, and say, oh, the unit of measure should be 1. It shouldn't be 15, 20, 40. It's still 1. You can only produce so many things per hour. And that's how things need to be measured. Because I don't understand by saying it's something different how I don't know who's voting for these sort of things. I see all these people going $15. Like, well, no, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, they just don't realize it.
They don't.
They think that, oh, I'm making $8 an hour and $15 is so much better. But you're
just calling it something different.
But you're not skilled to work that job.
Yeah.
Or you're working an unskilled job that requires little to no effort.
Right.
I mean, yes, it's a shitty job, and yes, you probably have to do quite a bit of work.
You do.
But
it's not glamorous.
But a monkey can do it, and a monkey has done it.
Right.
And I mean, that's the problem. It's like you don't understand the full circle of everything when you say we want $15 an hour, and that's going to be the thing. Because why would you get it when that EMT who is trained to come keep you alive, to go to the hospital, to take you to a doctor, and they take many life-saving courses, and they continue to do that, and they make like $10 to $11 an hour.
That's ridiculous.
And
it's a huge problem.
You're flipping a burger and pressing buttons on a register and saying that you need $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Sorry. Get a second job. Get a third job.
Well, I mean, I don't want to
work
take away
a side gig.
Well, I mean, fast food is a difficult job. I understand. But the problem in my eyes is the gap between the corporation that owns those places. They're never going to stop taking the profits off of that.
Of course not.
That's what the problem in my eyes is that corporation is definitely not going to make more money to make less money to pay you more.
What about saying that the top profits you can make off a company is like capped at 20%?
Yeah.
So let's say if that company makes $1 billion and they truly like actually make 50 or $1 billion, they make 500 million in profit, maybe they cap it at 20% and say, well, here's the thing, you can only take 20% of your billion, which means you can only cut it at, or you get 200 million, and that means the remainder, the 300 million out of, because it was profit, goes back into the company some way, somehow. So maybe at that point then workers will now get bonuses or get better pay or benefits or whatever it could be.
Or even zero profit. Like corporations cannot make profit. That ensures that every person who does work gets paid for doing that work.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you have the idea, if you have the knowledge, if you had the risk, if you took the incentive to do something, you're going to want to get paid for it. You're going to want to get the money for it.
Sure. That could be measured. Everything can be measured.
And I get that, and that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, let's just use this podcast. Let's just say if we were doing, like right now, we're just starting out. Nobody really knows about it, but who knows? In 10 years, we could have the top podcast and get 10 million downloads on per episode, and 10 million watches on Facebook, or YouTube, or anywhere, any video service or podcast service that we. So let's just say we have every episode 35 million people listen. Let's just say that 35 million people listen or watch.
Crossed.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say? It's just you and I,
of course,
and maybe there might be like team prod on later, like an audio engineer, or video engineer, or both, or
who will be paid handsomely.
So, but and that's the whole thing though, is like the creative aspect behind it. So, yeah, we get let's say we have 35 million listeners, but money sides of things, let's say that equates to, $50 million a year. How do you say that? Okay, you can't claim that,
right?
Because who are you paying?
Right.
It's creative. It's creative
that's the
content.
Dream. That's
the other thing. It's like, so that's the problem. So like even like the percentage, like I know I brought it up and I said, well, what about 20%? And then the rest goes back. But again, that like, well, you can argue, oh, that's creative. So there's no product being done. There's no person being. There's no worker. There's no you can. Where's that money going to go? Oh, we're just going to take that. You can't do that.
Well, that's what the problem is in society, and because we're not robots that make split-second calculations like computers every single.
What are you talking? That's what our brains do.
I'm a robot, but we don't have the calculation capability that we would need to make a measurement of every single thing that goes on around us. So that's where the invisible hand comes in, to where.
Yeah, but you're saying pay on performance,
right,
not on job or hour.
Well,
because the problem with that is, okay, so let's just use the fast food worker versus the EMT again. If you are an EMT, you might go and work 40 hours, but you might only get 4 calls, which means your productivity is equal to 4. Essentially, if you want to break it down. But that fast food worker does 4 tacos a minute.
Yeah.
So how is that going to...
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. The problem is that you can't calculate the schooling that the EMT worker needed to go through, the knowledge that they need to have, the skill level and the degree that they need. They're definitely underpaid compared to the person who is a fast food worker who needs to be trained on specific things, but doesn't need that advanced knowledge of, how much of a dosage to get to someone.
Begins and ends with that job.
Right. So that's where the problem is. If we were like AI supercomputers, you could measure every split second of each one of those people's actions and account for all of the schooling, the effort that it took, the skill that it takes, and compare them to that fast worker job. We can't do that. Our brains cannot make decisions at the level like that. We can't make calculated decisions at every second, every aspect of the day. And that's where the free market economy comes in. And a lot of times it works. So if you...
Oh, yeah, it does. But there are severe limitations with it.
And there's gigantic
gaps. There's problems with it that need to be worked out somehow.
Sure. Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can go back and forth because you can argue, well, these people need to make a cost of living and their job isn't paying them, but then you're hurting the people that are in the next step above that. And essentially what are you really going to do? There's so much behind it. It's so hard to break down and figure out.
Yeah.
But really, where can you go from there? It's very difficult. But yeah, I mean, honestly, saying to go from whatever the rate is right now to $15 an hour in even 2 years is
crazy.
Is insane.
Maybe 20, even in 5 years, it's still crazy. Why are you moving the unit of measure in the first place? That's like saying that a pound doesn't weigh a pound anymore, or a kilogram isn't a kilogram. We're now calling it a floozogram. Like, it doesn't. An hour of work is still an hour of work. You can only burn so many calories per day, per minute, per second. You can only do so many things. So, moving the measurement, I mean, physics is still physics. Nothing changes there. So that's what doesn't make any sense to me, is why isn't the unit of measure 1?
So let's actually get things correct here.
Okay.
All right. So the minimum wage is $7.25.
Okay.
And that has not changed since July 4th of 2009. So it's actually 10 years now. Yeah. And the House passes the Raise to Wage Act for 15 minimum. That means it has not done anything. It's not really anything because the Senate still has to.
Oh, so it's not locked in yet. See,
no.
The article that I read said that there's federally, they passed a $15 minimum wage. And
yeah,
it will be raised.
The House passed.
Oh.
So the House passed on Thursday to double the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, the highest ever. 200 total of 231 members voted in favor of the Raise the Wage Act. 199 opposed it. So passage of the bill is a victory for fast food workers who have been pushing for a 15 minimum wage across the country for more than 5 years. Again, I don't think fast food working should not get 15 an hour.
Well, you're not. See, it's so difficult because I feel bad for those people that's the job that they have to live.
I do too, but here's the thing. They shouldn't be having that job to live.
Yeah.
You should be either go to school.
Yeah.
I hate school. I think it's an absolute joke because the shit that you go to school for, most people don't get the job that they're going for.
Right.
The best thing to do is learn a skill trade.
It is.
And you're not going into debt.
Yep.
They're paying you to learn the trade. And then, once you become a full-fledged person in that trade, like a skilled tradesman, you can make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, you can make a really good living. Like, an electrician can make, $40 an hour.
You know what? That's a great...
And that's not bad. And that's the whole thing. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, you don't have a skill. You flip a burger and you put fries into a fryer. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, again, you are still physically working. You're using your calories and your energy to do things.
But again, it's the same thing. I mean, EMTs though, they make...
But they go there, they learn... I get what you're saying, and it's a great point. But they also have to learn a lot more to do that job. They should be paid a lot more because they're not taking into account the knowledge that person needs to be able to stop someone from bleeding or give them the right dosage of something that might save their lives while they're on the way to the hospital. That takes a lot of knowledge, and those people are definitely underpaid. The fast food worker, they're doing a physical skill that doesn't take that knowledge and learning that the EMT worker would need. That needs to be taken into an account when you're deciding what scale to pay someone at. I totally agree. And the problem here, though, the real problem here is just corporate greed, because that fast food worker, they're taking most of that labor that person is using when and just all profit.
No, see, here's the thing. It's not even that. It's more the fact that they raise prices on the opposite end.
Because those companies are never going to make less money.
You continue to pay your employees the same wage unless there's a minimum wage hike. Or maybe you add a quarter every like year or something, which what is that really going to do? Because that's not even a percent when
but the percentage of profits that those corporations are going to make is never going to change.
Hold on. Don't interrupt me. But no, like again, it's on this end. So like they're going to get paid the same wage no matter what. And the problem is the cost of goods is still going to go up, and because they're going to want more money, and they're going to want to impede or to please investors. And so then they can turn around and say, oh, we can charge more on our stock price, and our stock price goes up in value, and then our company goes up in value, so we can make more and more money and share it with our shareholders when the people who are doing that. But again, it's, I'm sorry, but with the fast food workers, that's a job that was designed for high school children. Job. For high school kids and for college kids. Yeah. It wasn't designed for, somebody who gets out of school who's now $200,000 in debt because they decided to take, sex education or gender studies or whatever the fuck they wanted to take.
Medieval implement weapons.
And it's like, see, first of all, so that's the big problem right there is they're offering these degrees and bullshit.
Yeah.
And you don't even really need a fucking degree in most of the things, because when you get to a job, like I could go to a job, I could go and nail an interview where they say, oh, you need a 4-year degree in something. And I could go nail that interview. And then all the stuff that you're going to learn is going to be on the job, unless it's specific, like obviously doctors, lawyers, vets, nurses, teachers, all those people who actually go to school for specific education is one thing. But if you're going to school for, say like business, I can go and get a degree, I can go and get that degree, but then I can do anything with it. I can go into a business atmosphere and be like, okay, I can go push papers, I can go be HR, I can. So it's most of the stuff you learn, or most of the stuff on the job, is on the job training.
Oh, for sure. And along the same lines, so this is a real person, and I was aware of this person when I was a kid. I remember this name because she was on the news when. Oh,
I thought it was Weird Al.
Nope. Dr. Marijuana Pepsi has graduated with her doctorate. Okay, so now
is she the one?
She's the woman.
Yeah, but is she the one who told people to start drinking certain products because it's the best thing to do, like drink sulfur and drink?
No, definitely not.
And turpentine.
No, she just has a unique name. Her name is Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke. So
I think she's a lesbian.
She was famous a long time ago, I remember, because I think she was in high school and they were going, oh, should Marijuana Pepsi change her name? She's like, I'm not changing my name. Her parents gave her that name.
Oh, really?
Her parents named her Marijuana Pepsi.
I thought she changed it to that name.
No.
I would have been like, that's okay. Yeah. But that just changed everything.
Her parents gave her that name. Her mom gave her the name
What the fuck is wrong
Marijuana
with,
Pepsi.
What the fuck is wrong with the mother that gave her marijuana?
Her mother apparently says, now this is allegedly, and I'm probably getting all the facts wrong. Her mother said that she thought that her name would take her places or something along those lines, right? So, well, now she's graduated, and I think she's 46 or 48 years old, has graduated finally with her doctorate. And she's a doctor now.
It took her 20-something years to get her doctorate?
Yeah. So her name is Dr. Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke. And she got her doctorate, and one of her researches was in the way research on how black children with unusual names are treated different in society. Now, I wouldn't say that it's just black children. I think anyone with...
Hold on. Here's the question. Is she black or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she is a black woman.
So that's why she did... Okay.
Yes.
Why couldn't you just leave the race out of it and just say, are children with bizarre names
like A, B, C, D, E?
Yeah.
Okay. And I agree with you. But also, you can get a doctorate in name studies. So it's like, okay... You have a doctor in front of your name,
but
now.
This is like custom education. It's like I want to make my degree in this. Can we do that? And then the school's gonna be like, "You're paying for it, right?
Yeah,
sure. Why not? Yeah, let's do that."
Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck would ever sign up for that? And then the question is, how much did you have to pay for that
For
degree?
that degree.
Or was it honorary?
Well, no, it's from a real school.
No, I get that,
Yeah,
but is
like,
it honorary,
no,
or is it
she
that she actually paid
associates, bachelor's, doctor, like because I remember this from 20 years ago or whenever she became famous because of her name.
for it? Dr. Marijuana Pepsi, if you're listening to this,
Congratulations to you.
I like your name.
Yeah.
But why do we have to put race into it? Why can't we just say people with weird names?
That is true because
There's a lot of
Yes.
there's white kids
With definitely jacked up names.
with the name Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
And like the parents were the kids were taken away because they called it child abuse.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, wait, what?
or
and
ABCDE. Remember that?
Yeah, there's that. Was that Australian?
I don't know whether
There's a name hashtag.
Yeah,
Look at the Kardashians kids, Kim's. What is it, like Northwest and Southeast and Balangajeda? I don't even know what the hell their names are. I only just know the one is Northwest. I think that was their first kid. I don't know the other ones, but I mean, there's so many names out there that, like, even there's one that's hashtag.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, here's a perfect example. So ABCD was made fun of at Southwest Airlines because of the 5-year-old girl's name.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect example of Mrs. Marijuana Pepsi's Dr. Marijuana Pepsi to study.
Do we call her Dr. Van Dyke or do we call her Dr. Pepsi?
You know what? I wonder if, because they made such a big deal out of her name being Marijuana Pepsi. I wonder if that's.
Hold on, I gotta look her up and see
Yeah.
what she looks like. Because it'd be funny if she had like a pot leaf stapled on her head.
No, she's an intelligent, normal woman. That's the
Oh,
whole
I
thing.
know. I'm
Like,
not.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not
It's just her
discounting her.
name.
I'm not discounting her in any way. I
Well,
mean,
you know what?
If you do go and get your doctorate, that takes. I mean,
You know
not
what?
everyone can get their doctorate
For sure. That is
it takes a
definitely-
smart person who
really does.
forms to school.
Yep.
Doctor.
Now, here's my question. If your name is something like, let's say your last name is poor or broke or some name like, do you believe the names could affect the trajectory of your life?
Oh, absolutely.
Like if your name was,
absolutely. Yeah. Because, you could name somebody anything and somebody's going to look at it on a piece of paper. And again, this is why you don't this is why I'm talking to you directly, Dr. Pepsi or Dr. Van Dyke or whatever you want to be called, or Dr. Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke or whatever your whole name, however you want to be announced. I will make sure to announce it that way. But why do we have to put race into it? Because here's the thing. If I am an employer or an HR manager and I get, 50 applications on my desk and I'm looking through them, guess what? That piece of paper is not going to tell me if they're white, if they're red, if they're yellow, if they're orange, if they're green, if they're black, if they're anything. They're not going to tell me if they're an alien. They're not going to tell me if they're a human. It's just going to say their name and what their accomplishments are. But here's the thing. When you look at a name in general and you see this weird, crazy name, people are going to look at that and they're going to either, they could look at it and laugh if it's like a funny thing, like your ABCD, where they like within Southwestern, or it could just be, just some weird ass name, and that's the sticking point. So now instead of looking at the application or the resume itself, you get stuck on the name and you look at it and then you just put it in the toss pile.
Yeah.
Instead of, I have a normal name, I have a full normal resume. This doesn't stand out in any way. The name is the first thing somebody sees. They don't not look at the name first. That's the first thing because they want to say, okay, this is this person. But if they're looking at the name and they're like, what the hell is this? They're just going to look at it, get stuck on that, and they're going to ignore the rest of it more than likely. And it's not it's not because you're doing it on purpose and saying, oh, that name's messed up, we're not having them. No, it's because psychologically you're stuck on that one thing and you give yourself so much time to look at the application itself before it goes either to the possible next pile, to like to interview section, or to the next level, or it goes into the pile that says no more. Your job search here has come to an end, essentially. So yeah, I mean, that sheet of paper is not going to have any effect. Even when you go to school and you sign up to go to school, you know, when teachers see that, they're not looking at they're seeing it on a freaking piece of paper that says, this is your class, who's in it.
Yeah.
You know, if you got Amanda, and then Ashley and John and Mike and Teresha, and then you get to like ABCDE,
or
and
marijuana,
hashtag, and all these crazy, and it's like, what? Or or ecstasy, or something like that. You're going to be like, it's going to immediately like sway your thought differently, because it's so out of the box, unnormal. And I don't think I don't necessarily think it stands out for the good in any background, in any race, in any religion, in any way. Unfortunately, I mean, I always say stand out. Like, you wanna stand out, but there's certain times when it's like, well, that's not going to help, not necessarily help you, because again, it's the psychology behind it, and it's this whole, it's this whole mentality of likeness and similarities versus differences and changes. So it goes back to this tribal mentality that says, okay, your name is like my name, I'll continue to the next. Yours is falling in line with what needs to be there, so you can come to you can be part of our organization. But you see a name that's so out there, you know, that tribal mentality, that just back functioning brain starts coming out and says, they're a different name. We don't know who they are. They're going to be different, and it's going to regard them differently, no matter what race or background they are. It doesn't matter what color, what shade of color they are, and it doesn't matter. It's going to affect everybody, because again, when you're looking at that sheet of paper doesn't say African American. It doesn't say Caucasian. It doesn't say Asian. It doesn't say any of that. It says, I'm a piece of paper. This is the crazy name, and that's what it is. Like, so I'll give you one example. At my one job, we had clients there and customers, and one of the names was Mark Hunt. So if you all know what Mike Hunt is, it sounds like Mike Hunt. Instead of, Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt, you know, it sounds, it's like bend over. Ben Dover. Yes, bend over. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Ha ha ha, funny. So, but this guy's name was Mark Hunt. So it was very close. So if you said Mark Hunt, it still had that pronunciation. So whenever he called into the office, he would say, "Hi, this is Mark Hunt," and stressed the K with a pause, and then said Hunt. So it would separate the two, because otherwise, you get that. And so that's an example where like, oh, that's funny because just the fast name of it. But when you're actually looking at it on a sheet of paper, you know, Mark and Hunt don't look too bad. You know, if you saw Ben and Dover, it doesn't really look too bad on paper. But if you if you say Nick, and then you can use your imagination for the last part of Nick,
of course,
because I'm not going to go there. But you can say these things, and sometimes it doesn't look that bad. And the reason why I knew that is because there was somebody who did a live stream and said, "Hey, can you shout out Nick?" Blah, and like they didn't realize, so they did,
of course.
And it's just like, what? Then I don't think they realized, like, because they were like thinking the name, but like it was like the bend over type situation.
Of course.
So, but like if you have like ecstasy or hashtag or Adolf Hitler, or you know, these different names that are just what the fucks, it throws anybody off, and they're gonna be like, And again, like I said, we don't try. I mean, we try to operate like this is a fresh sheet of paper. This person is brand new. This person is somebody who could be the best person of the job. But again, it's that tribal mentality.
Sure.
Okay, this falls in line. Their name is normal. They're everything looks normal. Everything looks normal here and here and here. But you see that, you're stuck on that. That's
exactly
all
what
you can
happened.
think about.
Yep.
And like I said, it doesn't matter what race. Why do we have to segregate based on race? Why do we have to put labels on it?
Oh, I'm
Why?
right there with you. That always bothered me.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
there's
I'm right there.
like there's articles I see in the paper and on the news, and they'll be like black boy or white girl,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why can't it just be boy and girl?
Right there with you.
And
That's
it's
the
like that-
one thing I've always thought about. I'm like, you're continuing the
You're-
prejudice when
you're-
you say,
yeah,
well,
you're
this
putting
white
it-
guy or this black guy or this white girl.
and
is-
it's
you're
insane.
continuing
Like,
it.
So I drive rideshare, and I get all different walks of life of people that
Yeah.
come in my car, and that's exactly what they are. They're people. Mm-hmm. I don't care what color they are.
Nope.
I don't care what background they are. I don't
Nope.
care what sexual orientation they are.
Nope.
I don't give a shit.
Yep.
You're a
Everyone's
person.
different.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, what kind of
you
person
have your
are they?
story. You have
Yeah.
your you have an identity that's unique to your own self. Be unique. Don't fall in line with saying this encompassing group. And it's
Well,
like,
it doesn't
really?
make any sense because human beings, if you really want to talk about it, human beings are 99.99% the same. Our
Oh, yeah,
DNA
absolutely.
is exactly the same around the world. You have one small little thing that makes the little what did we figure? It was melanin in our skin.
Yeah,
a
but
different
well,
color.
I mean,
That's
there's
it.
more, no, there's more to it. There is more to it. There are differences. Like
Not much.
no, there's not. But it's based on where your ancestors were in accordance to the world.
But also, I think
So,
human
like,
beings around
if
the
you
world
were-
all want the same things. Don't we all?
Oh
want
yeah,
the same
no,
things?
absolutely. But what I'm saying is there's different evolutionary gains that some people have based on the ancestries of their or based on the location of their ancestors because that's what they needed to exploit to be able to live.
Oh,
So that's why you see a lot of African Americans in like football.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good at running. They're very good at sports and things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, a Caucasian can be just as good, but you see more African American in football because of that.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in Africa, you're chasing after different animals like an antelope. Antelopes are fast. They try to outrun cheetahs. So when you're trying to hunt them, you have to be fast too. So you exploited that in your own genome sequence, and it helped beef that up. But yet, you go somewhere else, like say in Scandinavia or in like maybe Russian, and if you go there, they're a very hard type of people. But that's also because of the environment that they're around that they need to survive in. So they have benefits in certain things. But overall, yes, if you cut me and I cut you, we still bleed red. That's all the same thing. Everybody is the same. There are very, very, very minute differences that, wow, whoop-de-doo. Your skin color is dark.
Yeah,
You're
my
considered
hair's a little bit thicker than yours.
Yeah, you're considered black. You're considered white. You're considered Asian. There's also differences with facial features. Their eyes are a little bit squintier. Their face is a little bit different. But who cares?
Yeah.
We're all people.
Yeah,
we all
that's the whole thing.
We all communicate.
Yeah.
We all want the same thing. We all want life, and we all want to live happily and in sync, and we want to enjoy what we're doing. Why do we have to put up these barriers?
That's what
that
doesn't make
that
any sense.
Continue this propagandized effect of you are a different tribe than I am, and I shouldn't trust you because you're that different tribe, dude. You're cool. I'm cool. Let's just enjoy.
Yeah, I think we just all have to break down those barriers and all work together. I mean,
Well,
first of all,
okay.
Congratulations to Dr. Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke for your accomplishment. That is an accomplishment. Second of all,
Next time, if you're going to do a paper, don't make it on race or sexual orientation
I
or
think
anything.
that's her specialty.
Leave that stuff out. Just put all people in general, because all people, again, if you're doing something like that, I mean, unless it was the name that you saw the face immediately, which most of the time you won't.
Yeah.
You don't get that knowledge that that person might be black or white. You don't know if they're going to be Asian. You don't know, again, you don't know if they're black, white, red, green, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, colorless, albino.
Being a cubicle jockey for most of my life, most of my working life, I've seen probably every name that you can imagine. It's hilarious. I've seen every name under the book, and you are right. It's a subconscious bias. So when you see a jacked up name, you just judge that person.
So there's certain names that you'll expect to be a certain race.
Yeah. Well,
like you might think like Yolanda might be black, but in actuality, maybe not. Maybe she's Mexican. Maybe she's maybe she's from Georgia.
Yep.
Maybe she's from, who knows? It doesn't matter. But I mean, there are just given names that fall under what you might think as a category, but you're taking it a different step, at least from it sounded like what you told me, because like somebody who's Yolanda, that's not whatever.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Sure.
But if you're if you're taking it one step further and you're saying, well, this person's name was, Arfasupi, and you don't know what. I mean, you have no idea how to decipher what Arfasupi would actually be.
They're from Senegal, a great person.
You have no idea.
Yeah, but so what if your name was like Your Majesty or Your Highness? Now that's my question though. If we're going to talk about Dr. Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke, did she do a study on the difference between this person if your name is Your Highness or Your Majesty, or if your name is Welfare? That would be a great paper to write. Do a study on that, but you don't have to include race into it.
Yeah, why put race into it? It would just be, I believe it would be anything.
Yep.
Obviously, unfortunately, yes, there are races that are I mean, not races, but there are people who don't have the same opportunities as others when they're born, when they're growing up, in the parts where maybe they go to school or education, things like that. Yes, unfortunately there isn't. And there's a great YouTube video, or did I see it on Facebook? I think it was on Facebook actually, and it was a lot. They lined up a bunch of different people, all different races, all different ethnicities, everything. And then they said, "Okay, please step forward if you have both parents living at home. Please step forward if you have this, or please step forward." So you would start seeing people would step forward, and the groups of people that it was, and then you'd see the people who were standing back. And you'd see, yes, there's a clear difference between race there, and it's a very unfortunate thing. And I hope we change that very soon. But here's the great part of the video was he said, look at how everybody's set up, where everybody is. It's all different spots. But there's the finish line. And the people standing in the back, they got a lot more to work for. So they're going to run faster. So the people at the front, they might not work as hard. But here's the thing. The person in the back could finish first above the people who started. So they said, okay, that's the finish line. Everybody go. And you see the entire back fucking storm up. And a couple of them actually came very close to taking it, because they're just because how everything was. It was a phenomenal video, and I wish I knew what it was. You know what? It probably is on YouTube, so I got to look it up right now.
You know what has always fascinated me is people who do studies. So I read a paper one time about a study that had taken a lifetime, that scientists were studying people throughout the course of their lives. And it was very interesting because they discovered that if you're born in a certain socioeconomic status, the chances of you moving up just one level out of 5, if one being extremely poor and then 5 being the 1%, the chances of you moving up just 1% are very slim. You may make it to the next social class, but you're definitely not going to make it 3 or 4 or to the 5th class. Now, there are outliers who do make it from poverty to riches, but in general, if you move up a social class at all, you only move up one social class in your entire lifetime. And of course, there are outliers, but people, and this study it was a great paper, and I'm always fascinated. One, who has the fortitude to do a study for a lifetime? Like, who are the scientists that are studying these things for that's years, for 20, 30, 40, 50 year studies? That's crazy. And the people who are studying these things, there's people out there studying all sorts of stuff. You never hear about it, but good. I'm glad that there are people out there, but who is doing these things? That's what I want to know. Who are doing all these studies?
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are doing different studies. And I mean, some of them are good. I think some of them are breaking away. But you know what? Here's the other thing too. If you turn on, media, everything's blasted. Race, this, race, that, black, this, white, that.
Yep.
And it's like this horrible representation because, most people aren't racist anymore.
No,
like
they're not.
There's not like you go to walk down the street, everybody's like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You come in my car, hey, how are you doing?
Yep.
You're treated the exact same way as everybody else that comes in my car. If you're a complete shithead, that's when I might get a little be like, get out of my car. But that's because you're acting like an asshole. You're disrespectful. You're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to respect you, and I don't care what color your skin is. You're a person.
Yeah.
You're treated with dignity and you're treated with respect. If you're going to be a douchebag, get the fuck out of my car.
Well, that's the whole problem is that, and I mean, piece of shit people are piece of shit people.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter what color your skin is.
That's every race. That's everywhere. That's not part of, or that's not. But the thing is, it's like I said, there's so much non-racism out there. Like if you really think, like if you go on the media and watch, one of the channels, I guarantee you in 5 minutes there's going to be some sort of racist.
Oh, it's crazy.
Agenda, propaganda, whatever it might be. No, well, I mean, I don't even notice that. I think it's just propaganda for an agenda that they're still trying to push.
It really is.
And unfortunately, it's like you're beating a dead horse that's like got it's literally just bones now because you took the skin off of it already, and the guts and all that are already. So it's literally just the bones, and they're withering away too.
Yep.
So you can't harp on that drum anymore. Because like I said, most people, I mean, it doesn't matter what race they are. Everybody has pretty good, everybody's pretty good with each other in all aspects. So there's really no problem. I mean, yes, like I said, there are differences, and there's unfortunately areas that have harder times. They face different hardships. The opportunities aren't always the same. But the thing is, you can work to get out of that, and there's many stories of people who have, which is great. But it's the continuation of the same thing. And that's the problem. Like you can go back, 20, 30, 40 years and look at police records and see the same exact crimes happening then that are happening now. And it's like, well, what's being done there? Like, is there anything that can be fixed? Like, what can we do to make all areas better, or try to give more people better opportunities, or set everybody on an equal footing for equal opportunities? And then it's up to the person individually where they want to go with their life, whether they want to, be a schlub and do nothing, or if they want to achieve great success.
It's interesting you say that. I met a guy from Mexico, and he lived in Mexico until he was 13. He's 25 or 6 now. I said, well, what's Mexico like? I've never been there. I don't know. And he said, well, parts of it are really dangerous because of the cartel.
Yep.
So I asked him from his perspective, because I live in New York. I've traveled some, but I've talked to millions of people, but it's not the same as actually being in that
place. No,
place.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So I said, okay, so parts of Mexico are really bad. I go, well, what is the solution because of the cartel? I go, because you and I have had the discussion about, locking people up for drugs, which is stupid. And
Well, depending on what it is.
yeah, well,
I mean, like for having low level crime,
Yeah.
like whoop-de-doo.
I mean, clearly the policies on drugs are not working. Now, whether you're never going to stop people
but
from doing what they want to do, the solution is not putting people in cages
No.
and is not keeping it illegal. Now, what the solution is, I don't know. And whether you're for or against, being able to snort cocaine if you want to, that's a whole other thing. But the solution definitely is not just putting someone in a cage and fining them and ruining their life. We all
No.
know that, and it's
Yeah.
been the problem. But anyway, so for him, I go, well, okay, you have these cartels, and they're lopping people's heads off and hanging people from bridges. And I go, well, what is the solution? Do you think that if you just said, okay, drugs are legal now, you can buy them, would that eliminate the cartel problem? And he's like, you know what? The problem is so deep. It's so complicated that that's only one facet of it. But
Well, that's the whole thing. Look at the cartels in Mexico were doing marijuana.
yeah,
And now that cannabis is becoming legal in many
now
parts of the
it's- now
country,
it's meth and
it's
drugs.
different types of drugs that they're doing now. So they're doing opiate style drugs,
Yeah.
like fentanyl and all that type of stuff,
and meth. Yeah.
and it's getting worse and worse in that aspect because those drugs are much harder.
Yeah.
Like nobody dies from fucking weed,
Yeah.
but a lot of people will die from ODing on fentanyl because it's insane
Yeah.
what it is. So they're always going to, that's the whole thing about a cartel is they're going to find certain things that'll keep their business. But, not only that, but the cartels themselves also venture out into other business opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of what they're doing too is also legitimized business as well. So they could be doing, they could be building schools. They could be building other buildings. They could be.
Are they doing that? Is that the problem in the country? Because there's poverty.
I don't know if it's that they're. I mean, they're doing a lot of things that can be good for their area.
Yeah.
Which if you listen to or talk or if you hear a few people who talk about it that were actually there, they're telling their stories firsthand, which is not the same thing that you hear on the news in any way.
Well, that's why I talked to him.
You hear the most gruesome, dirty stuff, but they don't. They conveniently leave out. Well, this organization built up. A lot of schools in the area. They built up a lot. And then somebody who's uneducated is going to say, oh, yeah, so then they can become their pawns down the road. Well, no, that's not necessarily that. It's because they also have a extreme loyalty to that area.
Right.
Their belief system is very instilled into them. So they're going to do good for their community as well, even though the rival gang that's down the street, they're going to do the craziest, nastiest stuff to because, well, that's just the way they work. It
still goes back to that tribal mentality, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And, the guy, my friend that I met, he said it's not uncommon for him when he was a kid to see a dead body. Mm-hmm. And I think we've lived in a privileged part of the world where, I've talked to people who from around here that I knew that have been to other foreign countries that are in war zones, and the stories are just, everyone goes through hardship, but there's some extreme places in the world. So
absolutely.
Like, holy cow.
Absolutely.
I don't know what
and
the solution is.
It's people got to step back and like realize that, okay, you have a different opinion than I do.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Yeah. Like, why don't we work together and find the best solution towards the problem that we're facing instead of me not liking you because of a whole different opinion that we share that is not the same.
Yep. And, I think the internet is helping people realize that we're all on a spinning rock in outer space, like it's made things, and hopefully we can get to the point in human civilization where we do all work together towards a better future to make a better life for everyone. I think that everyone can have a pretty decent standard of living if we can set our differences aside and all work together towards the common goal of having a decent quality of life. And I think that hopefully modern technology will help bridge the gap between our differences in culture so that we can all work together towards a high quality of life for everyone, a decent standard of living. Hopefully the internet and technology will help bridge that gap. That's what I dream of for the future. In fact, the funny thing is I think about a lot is people who want to go to Mars or want to abandon our planet. I don't think that the solution is abandoning the planet. I think we have to work together to make the planet more habitable and sustainable for everyone, I myself included. I've been trying to be more conscious lately of my impact on the environment. I started being conscious of my impact on other human beings a long time ago. I tried to treat people with respect and courtesy and try to understand their point of view in life. And I think that's part of human development and becoming an adult, really, is trying to see someone else's point of view. But recently I've been trying to think of the impact that human beings are having on the planet. So I think that a common goal for humans, that technology will help bridge the gap between our differences so that we could all work together towards a better life for everyone. What do you think, Chris?
What? I just got back from the bathroom. Shush. I don't know what the hell you said. All I heard was something about being a better person.
Well, I think that we all have to work together to make a better life for everyone rather than continue the stupid cycle of violence that's
again,
going on.
as I just said earlier, is that people need to realize that everybody has differences of opinions, and that's okay.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter if you think this way and I think that way.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Like, what matters is the fact that how can we both work together to make another problem better.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And solve a solution.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And it's like everybody is so hung up on this. If you have a problem, or I mean, if you have just one little minor disagreement with what I believe, you're outcasted.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, we have like the same exact thoughts on every other thing, but this little tiny thing you're gonna hold a stickle on, and then it's gonna be like it gets this force that, like, you know, you're not happy with that person. Mm-hmm. You start like almost like warring with each other, and it's like this is just getting out of hand. And it's like, well, nobody shares the same thoughts and opinions as everybody else in the world.
No.
Nobody
and that's
does.
what makes life great. Like, I think
being
people,
an individual.
Yeah. People don't, it's so easy for people to negatively judge other people, and they don't embrace or accept that everyone is different, and that's what makes the human experience great. The other day, I listened to some old Metallica, last night actually. I've been telling you I've not been interested in the music lately, and I used to love music. Well, I listened to a bunch of old Metallica songs with a friend in my house, and I'm just so appreciative that people out there with different skills and different talent are able to produce awesome music. That's great music if you're a metalhead like me, an old school metalhead. And it really brought back my lust for my zest for life. I was feeling like a robot going to work every day in my cubicle, and
you're getting caught up in the grind of that.
Certainly was
the hamster wheel.
Yep. And I think that part of the key to life is that people are different. We have different experiences, different talents, and that's what makes life exciting and great. And I kind of lost track of that for a while, but now I'm back after some.
So is the music back into your life, or is it just kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, this was good to listen to, and I'm like, well.
It's not back to where I just live to go to concerts and stuff like that, but it just reminded me that human beings aren't robots. So I was so focused for a long time on achieving goals and trying to figure out getting a good stable life going, but life is emotional. So when you listen to music, it does strike emotions in you. And now I feel like I'm back to being like not a robot that's just going to work every single day. And I think that's part of life. You got to be creative, and you got to, or listen to creativity, or have some kind of creativity in your life, whether you're looking at nice artwork or listening to music or whatever you're doing, or sports for some people, I guess. But
Forever, yeah, for anything.
yeah, can't just be a robot to go to work and
No, you can't.
buy more things. You've got to get more things that you
That's
don't
the
need.
trap.
Accumulate. It's a trap.
It's a trap,
Accumulate
watch out.
things. Yep. In fact, you know what? It's very interesting. Doing things and giving to other people is more satisfying by far than collecting things.
Oh, for sure.
For me, I don't know.
For me,
for
it's
you.
traveling.
Yeah. See,
I like to travel. I like to go see other places, experiences. I like to experience things around. I like to see, different perspectives of things.
Yeah.
And I like to see it firsthand. Like, I like to go somewhere and check things out and enjoy and be like, wow, that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I've been giving away my stuff that I own.
I know you're trying to pawn off all your DVDs to me, and I'm like, dude, Jesus.
I got rid of all them. Somebody took them. I gave away my iPod the other day, and it made me feel good.
Uh-huh.
I didn't feel like I was losing anything. I thought for a split second, am I going to need this or use it? And I'm like, well, maybe, but just giving it away felt better than holding on to that thing, and I don't miss it at all. And I'm not going to use it. But see, the key is not giving away things that you're not ever going to use. The key is giving away things that you might want to keep and may use, and still giving it away. And that made me feel pretty good. And I think that's the key to life. I don't know. There's a lot of things in life that can derail you.
One of the big things is to live simply.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need all this crazy hoopla stuff. You don't need like 94 different tools to make dinner.
Yeah.
You really only need a pot and a pan, and that's really about it.
Yeah.
And maybe a knife.
Yeah.
And then some seasoning. You don't need all these crazy things, and so it's like living more simply with less stuff. It's less clutter. The clutter just gets in the way of everything.
It really does.
And you really get too focused on all these things, and it's like, well, where do I even begin? But if you don't have the clutter, like, this table is nice, there's no clutter on it, but that table right there has a lot of shit on it, and it's
Ugh. We'll fix it
but
someday.
a lot of it, the reason why it's the difference isn't because we just throw everything on that table. It's because this table is what we set up. That table, that's the desk, that's the work spot.
Yeah.
That's not finished in any way. We're not, we're continuing that. So that's why it's like that.
Well, I think we're so programmed, having
but
things.
in general,
having things for convenience. I mean, we all want to live the convenient life. I think the problem comes when you are constantly thinking about acquiring more things. That's where the pitfall is. If you need something, you go buy. It's good to be able to go buy that thing that you need to make your life easier.
I'm glad that you brought that up about stuff, because I completely forgot about this last week. So we started doing an experiment a couple weeks ago. If you remember, if you didn't listen to it, go back a couple of weeks. Pretty much the entire podcast, we were saying the word cooler or Yeti cooler, or it's just talking about coolers, because we have our phones sitting out, and we wanted to do an experiment, because every single time somebody says, "Oh, I've been thinking about something," or talking about it, and then boom, the ad pops up, and there it is. And that's what it is. And so I'm like, well, let's just do something like that. Let's do an experiment. And so the one day we left our phones just here listening, quiet. I have Facebook and social media. You do not.
No, but I think that I'm going to again.
But well, I'm just putting the experiment into perspective for people. But you don't have social media, but you still use your phone for things, for like news, which means you're going to get pop-ups on websites and different things like that, or in YouTube, you'll see certain pop-ups on certain things, or scrolling through the feed. And so a couple weeks ago, we were talking about coolers. Cooler, but we didn't turn our phones on for that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to see how well they listened. You have an Android, I have an iPhone.
Yep.
iPhones are supposed to be a little bit better when it comes to what is heard and not heard, or sold to advertisers, or shared with advertisers and whatnot. They have a little bit more restrictions placed on them, or you can. So I actually have all of my restrictions on my phone. A lot of people
That's
don't.
just for that's just
But
for
that's
Apple.
that's for the Apple aspect
Yeah.
of things. That doesn't include
Apple's not harvesting.
Facebook or Messenger or any of that crap.
Yeah.
So we did that where we were talking about cooler and saying cooler and hoping to get cooler advertisements the next day or later that day or whatever it might have been. And guess what? Nothing.
No.
For the last couple of weeks since we did that, I have not gotten an advertisement for a cooler whatsoever. And guess what?
neither.
It's the summer.
Yeah.
And the 4th of July had just happened, which
Yeah.
means a lot of people are looking at coolers. They could have advertised for coolers because it's 4th of July, whatever. You didn't get any either.
Nope.
And our phones were off. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to turn our phones on and just have them open and on. Not necessarily the app open or
I would
app
try
open.
the Facebook app. I would try opening the Facebook app because that seems to be where the people are getting the mysterious ads from, and that's when it happened between me and my relative. Was
Okay,
when,
well, you
when-
open up the
when-
Amazon.
Okay.
You open up the Amazons,
I do
and
that.
I'm going to open up the Facebooks.
All right.
And we're going to talk about coolers,
All right.
and we're going to talk about. So I have my Facebook opened. Ooh,
You
wine.
know what? Why don't we?
Like
we
what
could
popped up?
also
Wine.
we could do 3 different things. We could try a bank, a car, and a cooler.
No,
That way
I'm
we
just
have a
going to stick with
different
that
data
because
set.
then we know. So yeah, I've been wanting a cooler. I need one because I'm going on vacation,
Yeah.
and so I need a cooler because what I've discovered is that if I take my food, it's easier because I'm going to spend less because when I go to the store there, and Facebook's open, don't worry. When I go to the store, then I end up spending more money because I get more things like snacks and shit that I don't need.
Yeah.
So I want to bring a cooler, and I don't have a cooler, but I need one. So when I go on vacation, then I can take my food with me and it won't spoil on the car ride there because it's a couple hours away. So I want to make sure that my cooler, or I need to get a good cooler. And I was looking at the Yeti cooler, or thinking about a Yeti cooler because I've heard so much. I haven't really looked into them yet. What's your thoughts on a Yeti cooler?
Well, I think that a Yeti cooler are probably the highest quality coolers that you can get on the market right now. Yeti is definitely the way to go but I've heard a Coleman cooler is good too. I've often used Coleman cooler, but Yeti coolers are pretty good, I hear too. I've never had a Yeti cooler. I would like a Yeti cooler.
I've
always used Coleman cooler.
I had the Yeti vacuum packed, glass. Those are like $80 or something, which is fucking ridiculous. And I can get the same damn thing without the Yeti logo on it for like $25.
It's
online.
funny you mentioned that. We had a debate about whether you needed the fancy Yeti beer holder or you could just get away with, remember the old foam? The foam that goes around the beer?
You want the one you want is the vacuum packed or the vacuum sealed one.
Well, the Yeti one worked great, except for here's what the problem was. You couldn't tell when your beer was empty because it's so heavy. Mm-hmm. So when you have just the foam that goes, the foam old cheap 50-cent koozies.
Well, I hope you
does
would
the
know,
trick.
I hope you would know where your beer's at or where your drink's at because you're the one drinking it. So if you're pouring it back and then all of a sudden you're like up here and you still think there's more beer, then you're a
but
fool.
you couldn't tell though. You couldn't gauge. Now,
So yeah, I need the cooler.
I don't drink. You should get the Yeti cooler. Now,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to get the cooler. Okay, phones are off.
All right.
So that
Try
is
that experiment.
the
Coleman
next
or
experiment.
Yeti. All right.
That is the next experiment that we're trying to do with the phone on. Now, neither of us have a need for a cooler. We don't want a cooler. We aren't looking for it. In fact, there's no reason for an advertisement to show up because we've never even looked in our history searches of coolers at all. I haven't looked any up. Have you?
No.
Okay. So yeah, we haven't looked up anything. We haven't done anything. There was no anything like made to, like no keywords made for it. No, nothing. So it was just literally talking about it and seeing if they're listening because we don't really know. And I want to say it quiet so then my phone can't hear me. But
hilarious.
So we are going to do that experiment and see if it changed a little bit because the first one did not work. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised about that. I'm actually very happy about that because yeah, it just is it's a good sign.
Well, I did my own experiment a while ago where with the Facebook app open, I texted that I wanted a pair of jeans. I forget, either I forget which kind, but a name brand jeans that are expensive. Sure enough. Now, but it says that when you are signing up for your Facebook Messenger things, it says that it will read your text messages, etc., when you're agreeing to the terms and service. It doesn't say that it's going to listen to you and suggest process your voice, but it says it'll read your text messages. So, I wanted a pair of shoes and I wanted a pair of pants. And sure enough, on my Facebook, there were ads for pants and shoes. But it tells you beforehand that you do that. However, that is in itself super creepy that when you're texting a friend, and you would think that's a private conversation that's being read and used.
Was it text or was
text?
It? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
not
gonna be,
voice.
That's going to be the next step. So if there's nothing that's done again for next week, what we're going to do is we're actually going to text back and forth.
Well, it definitely
the
reads
same
your text,
thing.
but it says when you sign up for the Messenger app,
No.
will read your text. You were giving permission for it to do that. So that's creepy in and of itself. Do you want something reading your emails, reading your text messages, just so what can we advertise to Chris today?
It shouldn't be that way. No. The private. That's the whole thing about the privacy. Is that it needs to be in such a way that you need to be able to understand it better. Yeah. It can't be buried all the way down. Yeah. It's like TVs. Like the reason why they're so cheap is because they're tracking everything you're watching.
Yeah.
And it's the smart TVs too that are doing that. Yeah. And then they're sending that information to advertisers and to people. So they know exactly what you're watching and how to advertise to you.
Well, it's a broken model because if I buy batteries and you're advertising batteries to me, I already bought the batteries. I don't need more batteries. Yeah. And they're not working.
There's a funny story. My girlfriend's mother was shopping and I guess got a shirt. And then later that day, they that company advertised that same exact shirt. Yeah. To her again. Yeah. And it's like, well, you lost because you already.
Now, it's one thing if you're keeping track of what people are buying. That's just smart business. People are buying more apples than oranges. Great.
They've been doing that since the get-go. Like, so those shopper cards that people have, that tracks everything you've purchased every time you swipe the card. So what I do is I know how they work. Yeah. So if you put in phone numbers of other people,
of course,
then it shows up onto their account. Yeah. So you could be buying the same things, for the last 3 years, and all of a sudden you're going to see like this crazy order that doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter because I still get my cheaper product price, but they don't know what I'm buying because I don't have those damn cards.
Right, of course. So, and I mean, people are buying a lot of pie. We're going to raise pie by $1. That makes perfect sense. But trying to predict what people want is never going to work. And the biggest pet peeve I have is when I'm trying to, on the streaming services, because I watch something, they think I'm going to want to watch all of these other same things when I've either already seen it or I'm not interested in that particular brand that it's trying to suggest to me.
I mean, that's why they why they give you a bunch of different things. Yeah. And then whatever looks the best to you, you click on.
Yeah, it's not a good model though, because I've already seen this, I've already seen that.
It works pretty well.
Well, for me, just show me everything. Like if there's a comedy section, I will browse through the comedy section and see what looks appealing to me. I don't need you to try to pick a comedian to suggest to me that I don't like. Mm-hmm. You're not doing a good job. I don't want to watch that guy. And just because I watched another guy doesn't mean I want to watch that guy. But I think trying to predict what people want, just show me everything. In a comedy group, if I pick comedy, show me comedy. If I pick action, show me action. Stop trying to pick what action movie you think I might want to watch. Mm-hmm. I'll figure that out myself.
Well, the one thing though, I'm getting antsy, so I'm trying to scroll through and see if I'm getting anything right now.
For your Yeti cooler?
Yeah, but which I am not at the moment yet. No. So, we'll see. I'm getting antsy though because I want to know if it's going to work. So I'm scrolling through right now, just kind of
try a bank or a truck.
No, I'm not doing that right now.
All right.
Because I want something specific.
Yeah. Say Toyota.
No, I don't want that.
All right. You don't want a Toyota truck?
No.
Okay.
Stop. I told you from the get-go I'm not doing that. I want it to be the same thing, so we're talking about it here and here out.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter. A cooler should pop up. It doesn't matter if it's Yeti or not. It should be anything.
Yeah, I get it.
And even like Amazon would pop up with
Yeah, for sure.
like, so I've bought a lot of things for the studio here, and it'll pop up on Amazon and it'll say, oh, there's all these different things.
Yeah.
And like, I like looking at it because it's like, oh, what can I add? What can I add?
Yeah.
What can the next product
See, mine's
be?
not that good at suggesting things.
Well, this
for
is
me.
on Facebook though.
Oh, okay. See, on Amazon,
So-
it always suggests that I need another one of these. Like, no, I already bought that.
Yeah.
I don't need another one.
Well-
if I need another one, I know how to go and buy another one.
Technically,
Yeah. Well, we
we
do.
need two more.
We do.
So is that really wrong?
Yeah. But I mean, okay, bad example, but we got microphones. I don't need another microphone.
Technically,
It actually wanted me to buy these. Do we need these?
Well, here's the thing though. Like, that's actually smart because it says, okay, well, you've bought wire,
Yeah.
you've bought this,
Yeah.
the stand, so
probably
you
need
probably need these because it's going to tie everything together, and that's just like the way the algorithm works.
Yeah.
So that's actually not that's actually a pretty good inference right there. But yes, technically, we also still do need another mic because that mic isn't the right one compared to the other three.
Of course.
But we also need the stands. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we still do need a couple of things, but after that, then yeah, we won't need the mic stand setups anymore. And then who knows? They'll probably start advertising the Shure what $399 or whatever it is, the SMB 7.
The Dream.
I don't know. There's some even more expensive microphones out there.
Oh, for sure. Forgot to tell you. Amazon Prime. I forgot to tell. Apparently there was some kind of mistake where they were selling like $13,000 camera equipment for $94.84.
Why
on
did you
Prime
not
Day.
buy it?
I didn't know until it was too late.
Oh
I
my
read an article about it. Like, oh,
God!
there's a
Hold
bunch
on.
of stuff. Yeah, they sold a bunch of photo equipment for like, and someone was like, yeah, this $2,000 photo telelens I got for $94. Like, oh man, I missed out.
What was that? Prime.
Prime photo glitch or something. Yep.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the cash truck that
Yeah.
that
And everybody was
dumped
trying
cash on
to,
the street?
and everybody was trying to like stop and get it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
They're gonna find all those people and get all that money back.
I don't know. I mean, that video will probably, but here's the thing: I could be like, oh, I let somebody borrow my car that day, so they're not going to be able to get that money back because they couldn't.
They could.
It's money.
Yeah.
It's not trackable.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing about cash.
Yep.
It's not trackable. Credit cards, on the other hand, are trackable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the unfortunate problem.
Yeah. But even if like, here's a video of you right here out of your car picking up all these $20 bills, you'd be like, all right, here's the $40 back I took.
I'd be like, yeah, finders keepers, losers
for
weepers.
sure.
You really, I mean, yeah, I don't know how they'd be able to get that back.
No, you
Anybody
couldn't.
driving down the highway, we have your picture and we have your license plate, and if you don't, okay, good luck.
Do the right thing and give the money back.
Yeah. And here's the other thing: what about the people who were driving? Like, let's just say they were able to track that because they can. So let's just say like people are driving, but yet the money. Nobody took that money because it all got caught up already.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, we're going to suspend your license. Well, I didn't do it.
Yeah. For sure.
You were on it. We have the video evidence,
There's you.
but you don't because I didn't stop.
Yeah. Like you can't prove that I
So-
took any money.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to. It's only that one video is anybody, but some of those they're not looking at you. You can just get, and
I was in the general vicinity. I had to stop to check the air in my tire. That's why. That's why you saw me in that.
I got a flat
particular
tire.
area.
I was running over all
Yeah.
these trees
Yeah.
that were blowing in the wind. All
Yeah.
these leaves.
The leaves, they were everywhere.
And it was blocking my field of view. I had to pull over. I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And then I went out, got off the windshield, and was pulling all these papers off. And luckily, all the paper and the leaves were they looked beautiful, so I wanted to keep them.
Yep. Real pretty. Got a nice collection of them. I collect paper. Seems like a lot of people collect paper.
Especially with some ink on it in the forms of ones and zeros.
Yep.
Mostly 2 zeros.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
That would be awesome.
Everyone likes it.
Now that would be awesome. I'm sorry. If I saw a money truck or money just flowing down the friggin', I'd be like all over that shit. I'd be like, give me.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
I would be like, yes, we're getting a new camera.
That's what we need for sure. Like, woo.
Yes, we're getting new stuff. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Oh crap, we fell into that whole we should be simple and not get new stuff thing.
Well, no, because we're using it for functional things. Like,
No, I know.
Our goal in life is not to accumulate things, which
No.
seems to be a lot of people's goals.
We're trying to accumulate our dream.
Yeah, accumulate
And,
experiences and good
we
times.
need certain products and things
Yeah.
to be able to execute them
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
function where it's going to be much better for you versus us.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though unwrapping things is always fun.
Yeah, it is.
But building things that are going to be much better is always better. Yeah. So better quality than when we first started to today, and hopefully much better quality in a year or two versus what it is today, and continuing to grow from there.
For sure. I like it. It's a great idea.
Yeah. I'm so impatient for this cooler thing, though. So impatient. I'm like, Argh.
The Yeti cooler?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. Just because, who knows?
Don't know.
We want to do real experiments and see what
Scientific.
happens.
That's weird.
It could be scientific, yes, because we're using a baseline and we're using what? Did one pop up already?
No, I just noticed something I don't use the app on my phone.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. I probably should, but I don't. And I just noticed something that it's like your shopping list is private. And you can drag and drop things here, and it's private. I'm like, okay, good.
So is that for the sex toys that you've been
A
purchasing?
lot of them.
Like the Pussy Packer or whatever the hell it is, the fleshlight?
Yeah, that's it. And got a lot of there's a lot of hilarious sex toys on there, for sure. Should definitely, if you're bored one day, look up all the jacked up things that are on Amazon.
I'm gonna probably not ever do that.
All right, I'll send them all to you then.
Only because I don't have the time to even attempt to care or look
All
at
right,
it.
I'll send them all to you then. I'll send all the good ones to you.
So for anybody who's keeping score, yes, that's probably what Aaron uses.
Yeah, I use all of them.
Hold on. Does it come in an Amazon Prime box or does it come in a blank box masked for your
It
discretion?
says big box of dildos on it. When you deliver it, it says gigantic box of dildos. So it says,
Does it say the fist?
yeah, right on the outside. Yeah. It says fist for sexual activity right on the outside of it.
Do not insert into anus.
Yeah, without lube.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, there's a ton of good stuff on there. Where were you about 8 months ago when I was sending all the hilarious things back and forth between me and my friend Amy? My friend Amy started out she's like, look at what I found on Amazon. And then I found other jacked up things and
You like that $36,000 drone?
yeah. Yep. We're waiting for that one in the mail. Can't wait to get that one.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
The comments. Okay, so I just Googled drone.
Yeah.
And it was literally like the second one that came up was $36,000 that you could buy.
Was this on YouTube?
It was
or
on
on
Google.
Google?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to do this right now.
So, but not only that, the drone itself was ridiculous. Why is it $36,000? But the comments on it were epic. If you ever want to read a hilarious description, Google the $36,000 drone and read the comments on that thing are hilarious. It's better than the comments on the Haribo gummy bears that make you shit your pants are pretty good on Amazon. Mm-hmm. But the $36,000 drone is much.
Oh no,
better.
31,000.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
It is Oh wait, no, there's more, but this is the one that we were talking about. Oh no, wait.
Well, read the comments on it. That's how you could decipher if that's the one. It was so funny. They're hilarious.
It's the X-Fold Dragon X12 RTF U11 drone, 12 propellers, U11 motor, 4 heavy winds.
And it's $31,000.
Yeah, it's $31,000.
Okay, now read our listeners.
And
their
you can
comments.
do as low as $26.44 a month for 12 months. But here's the thing: most insane drone ever. I must say, out of the box, this thing is a beast with its 12 motors. It feels like I am standing in a wind tunnel. But to get things straight, they say this thing is rated for strong winds, so I decided to test that out. I flew this ting right into an F5 tornado, and boy, I thought I was dreaming. I was getting a live HD view from inside of the beast, and everything looked great. Then when I went higher and used full thrust, for some crazy things happen. Oh, damn it. See more. Hold on. I had to open up more page. That's when the crazy things happen. The thing started wobbling out of control, and it was getting tossed around until it got spit out at the top of the tornado. Then when it was falling, I was like, I better try to take control again. And when I did, I couldn't believe it. So right before it hit the ground, I powered maximum thrust again, and the motors were so powerful, it started its own mini tornado that flew right into my town and destroyed it all. Ever since I've been living on the streets and had to sell the thing just so I had money for a car. Wish they included town insurance with this thing. I was completely blown away by this drone's features. It could fly to Mars through a vacuum. The creator created some anti-gravitational science that defies everything I've learned in school, and that alone easily justifies this price. This has become my children, parents, and wife as I sold them to buy this embodiment of a human engineering perfection. Would strongly recommend this for homeless people. Oh, man.
Yeah,
see all 35 reviews. Here we go.
Yeah, a lot of those comments are just epic. There's one about a Nigerian.
I know. That's the one I want to find.
It's so good.
That one was hilarious. Damn it. Was that wasn't on Amazon, was it?
No, no, it was
No, it
right
was on
on their
some,
website.
It was like, yeah. For some reason.
That's hilarious. Anyway, yeah. You think that drone is really that expensive? Like, why could it be that expensive? Does it have like a flamethrower on it? Did you see that drone that they have?
They have a drone that has a flamethrower on it.
It
Yes.
burns things off of high wires.
Yes.
Awesome.
Burn, baby, burn. Yeah, there's some crazy shit.
Yeah. I really like drone footage of like cool places like waterfalls, beaches.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
drone footage of scenery.
Mm-hmm.
I really like. I think I might get a drone so I could get some awesome footage.
Yeah, drone footage is pretty cool. Yeah. And then like in the middle of fireworks as they're going off.
That's the shit. That was really cool.
Until I shoot it out of the fucking sky because it's like this.
Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, and I'm trying to listen and enjoy the fireworks, and it's like. And then you hear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I'm like, fucking mother. So I take out my fucking 22 and I'm like, and I knock it the fuck out of the sky. I'm like, there you go, bitch. And then they come over and they're like, why'd you shoot my drone at us? I'm like, I didn't. The firework exploded it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have flown it in the fucking fireworks. Maybe you'd still have your drone.
Yeah. I definitely want to get one still.
Mm-hmm.
The one that follows you wherever you go.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
They have that. That tech.
Yeah, that'll follow you.
That's cool. Fun for like if you're doing like zip lining and shit.
Yeah.
So like you could go down zip lining and be like, and this thing will follow you. But here's the thing: does it have an avoidance detector? So if it's like you're going in a tree, like near trees, does it like fly into the tree and then you're like, oh fuck, I gotta go grab that thing, or what?
Yeah. Be cool. Got to get one.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, drones are fun. I mean, they're cool. They're expensive though.
That's the problem.
like $31,000
Yeah.
worth.
Well, I'm saving up for that one. That's the dream. Yeah, I got to find that so I can read the comments on it.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
the Nigerian prince comment's the funniest thing.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see a verified buyer sticker though on it, because that would be hilarious. Hold on, I wonder if it is on Amazon. That would be funny.
Yep.
Everything's on Amazon, so it should.
Everything is on there.
What did I say it was?
I can't remember.
U-11 drone.
The dragon. So, what else happened this week that was exciting?
Not too much.
No.
Why?
4th of July fireworks.
Dude, we're like a couple of weeks from that.
We are.
It's the 21st.
Oh, the flying dragon drone can change shape in midair. That sounds pretty neat.
Like a transformer?
Yeah, it looks just like it. Yeah.
Huh.
Exciting.
That would be interesting. Like all of a sudden it's like you turn it into something to scare the shit out of somebody. That would be funny. Let me see.
Did you watch Elon Musk and his Neuralink reveal?
No, I was kind of looking at news articles and stuff.
All right. So,
Not very much into it. Although I've heard plenty about this for the last few months.
well, that's my whole thing. What does it do? What is it supposed to do? Because I watched like an 18-minute
It's
review
a
about what
neural
it is.
network interface
Okay.
that can attach to the brain
Yeah.
and essentially attach to the internet.
Okay.
So you'll be able to be like the whole thing is it's like one step ahead of like AI. So you'll
Okay.
be able to interface and make all these like interactions or computations or anything based on the computer. So you could be like, instead of having it transmit to the computer and then use a screen so you could see it, it'll just go right to your brain.
Okay. The computer screen will go into my brain.
No, like the information will go into your brain.
Okay. What about like virtual reality? Could that go into my brain?
That's your eyesight. I don't.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
okay. So
parts of virtual
so it's not the
reality,
visual cortex; it's the information.
I believe it's just the information. Yeah.
So, like, could I learn kung fu like in the Matrix?
I don't know. But
I know kung fu.
That would be kind of cool.
All right. Like I didn't.
So
I watched the reveal.
Essentially, it would. I mean, it would probably be as close to that as possible. So it's like, I know kung fu.
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I'm a car mechanic. Interesting.
So here's the thing: do I have to go to school for 4 years and go $300,000 in debt, or can I just learn everything I need to know in the next 8 minutes to become a doctor?
Yeah. Like,
I can do open heart surgery.
yeah.
Show me.
Yeah. So,
I need a new heart. Reconstruct mine. It's like, holy crap.
well, so I watched it, and they make a 2 millimeter incision, and then expand it to 8 millimeters, and then insert something into you. But that's the only part
kind
that
of
I
like
saw.
a penis and a vagina.
Yes,
Dun dun.
you've got it. It's a 2 millimeter incision
And
that
they
expands to
stretch it
8 millimeters.
and they jam something in there.
Yeah.
And then they let it close up.
Yeah.
And it's so.
So then, but I didn't see what it did. Like, okay, they put a computer chip in your brain or somewhere. I don't even know where it goes.
It like goes into your brain and then just starts infesting it. It's
I
like,
guess so.
I'm going to make love to your brain.
Yeah,
and
and I didn't know
grab
what it did.
And I'm going to take all of your brain synapses and all your secrets and memories. And guess what? Now I own them. You must share that information.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely intellectual property. Mm-hmm. So you had mentioned that you do not want to go to the Dominican Republic.
No, fuck that.
So there have been 19 people that have died from tainted alcohol.
That's the reason why.
Yeah, tainted alcohol. What's going on there?
I don't know.
Who's tainting the alcohol?
Bastards are.
They're definitely bastards.
I don't know what the
Unbelievable.
point is either. Like,
Yeah,
what's the
why-
point? Like,
yeah.
you're screwing yourself over because not a lot of people are going to want to go there.
Yeah.
After that, so you're
That's the
screwing
point.
everything. I mean, yeah, it
Like,
could
I'm
be, it
tired
could
of
be the
these
point.
goddamn tourists everywhere.
It could be. I mean, but yeah, unfortunately, that's where a lot of your. Oh fuck! I'm tired. I had a long day last night.
Yeah.
And then a long day today too.
We've talked about this. You have got to stop partying all night long, every day.
I can't help it. I can't help it. I was out till like 2 in the morning, and then had lots of sex, and
Well, that's fun.
didn't fall asleep until probably like 3, and then woke up probably about 7:45 because somebody was whining and wanted to wake the hell up, and I'm like, no, go back to sleep until 8:00 at least. Well, no, it's like 7:20.
Yeah.
And then woke up at like 7:45, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta get up.
Yeah.
So
Start your day. Yeah.
yeah, long day yesterday, long day today. Can't complain though.
Yeah, living life.
Grab an energy drink and be like, woo.
I've never
Then
had
I gotta
one of
do a
those.
live. I gotta do a live stream in a little while after this when I do on my YouTube channel.
That'll be fun.
Oh, it will be, yeah. Especially since I have lots to talk about the fucking craziness this week has been.
What's your YouTube channel?
Real rideshare stories.
And what can I see there?
You can see a lot of different things about what's going on in the Uber and Lyft arena.
Excellent.
It's a very good channel.
My favorite still that I still laugh about today is he keeps asking me if he could touch my stuff. It's so funny. He keeps asking me if he can touch my stuff. I'm like, no. It's so funny. So go on Real Rideshare Stories and look up the college kids that are talking about their college roommate who keeps asking him to touch his stuff.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I mean, there's a lot of good stories. I like. There's a lot of good things, so it's always fun. And then the funny skits that we do, which people still think they're real.
That's because we're such good actors.
Yeah, we aren't. That's the funny thing. Like we just I'm literally like, hey Aaron, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
So go with this, and then work these couple of things into it, and everything's just improv right
and
there.
I do it shittily because we didn't practice at all.
Yeah, and it's literally like a 1 or 2 take thing.
Yeah.
And it's like literally, I'll be like, all right, yeah, you didn't. I meant for you to do it at this,
Yeah.
say this at this point.
Yeah.
And then so we just kind of like fix it, and I just edit it together, and it's like.
Usually, it's been the 2 times. It's been after I worked all day and was tired and didn't eat properly and didn't know what the fuck was going on in the first place.
And it still came out good.
out
But
okay,
it's funny because people still think it's true or real. And they're like, this can't be real, is it? I'm like, yes, it's a fucking parody.
Yeah.
Dar. Considering it says hashtag Uber parody. And then
It does say parody. Oh, good.
that's like in the hashtags, like underneath the video.
Well, yeah, so people can decipher if they read.
And then like the whole way it's set up, it's like it's called the world's worst rideshare driver, and then it's rideshare driver Joe, who looks a lot like me, wearing glasses and a upwards facing hat.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like
That's a really good one.
I'm like, oh my god. It's kind of funny though, because a lot of people like Joe.
Yeah. Oh, he's hilarious.
They like Joe.
Yeah.
And it's like the funny one-liners. So now people, when they're watching it, they'll actually like comment the funny one-liners.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, oh, that's cool. So it's like this little thing. So it's funny because I actually just finished the first season. I did 10 episode seasons.
Yes.
And even though that really means nothing, I'm just
Yeah.
for the video playlists, it'll
Yeah.
just show that. So hopefully by like season 3 or 4, Rideshare Driver Joe will be picked up for like a Netflix series or something.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be on there.
And then Rideshare Driver Joe will be like, "Hi, how y'all doing today? I'm Rideshare Driver Joe.
Yep.
Joe, what are you doing over here? I'm just waiting to get out and go driving.
Yep.
I was semi deactivated because my apparently my air conditioning wasn't on too much, and the girl thought that it was too warm, even though it was on full blast. So she contacted that Uber support and somehow got me deactivated. So I can't drive right now."
That's a good question that I need to know. I am deactivated on Uber and the Lyfts so that if my car breaks down, I can't sign up. I got to get that fixed. I don't know how to do that.
Well, you were never activated. You
No,
have
I'm
to be
barred from it or something.
You have to have a car that's at least 2000. Well, for Lyft, you have to have at least a car that's at least 2004 or newer.
Yeah, that's why I was deactivated because my car is from 2004, but apparently it's not the right model for 2004.
No,
and they're
it's
like,
just
you can't.
It's
I'm
a
like,
2004 car.
Yeah, so then they
For Lyft.
they
I don't
rejected
Uber. I'm not. I think Uber is a little bit different, but Lyft is 2004 or newer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter the make or model. Vans would be the only difference because vans are different. They run under a different platform.
Cool.
Because nobody drives vans.
They don't.
Very few people do.
They should.
Fuck that.
Vans?
The only thing that's good about vans is that you can take Uber XL or Lyft XL, so you get a little bit more money.
Yeah, that
But-
makes sense.
That's really about it.
All right.
Yeah, I would. I mean, Uber and Lyft is fun. I like doing it. It's cool. You can meet a lot of people, a lot of fucking crazy people.
Yeah, I talk to them all the time.
And that's a whole different story. That's a whole different. Oh, the video I just posted the other day was this woman. She works at a call center, and she was telling me about some of the crazy stories because she works for a cable and internet provider. And so she was telling me some of the crazy stories of people that were talking about it. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love those ones because they're so freaking hilarious. And I love taking like the insurance call centers too because they tell me like, I'm like, what's your craziest story you got? Every time. And I get these crazy freaking stories. Like one of the insurance agencies that is around here, I asked them like, what was his craziest thing? And he's like, yeah, I had to deal with a lawsuit, or I had to deal with somebody trying to sue another person because they couldn't have sex with their significant other anymore because like something happened. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, what?
Like this is crazy. So I mean, it's just these crazy things that like you never hear about or never know unless you were in the industry working it. And so I think it's cool. I like sharing those because it's just a unique perspective of people and how fucking nuts they can be. Some people, not everybody.
No, everyone has the capability of being pretty insane. In fact, I wish I had the recording. My sister-in-law needed to cancel her Cinemax. And
Skinemax.
Yes, well, that's what I said. So
After 11 p.m.
yeah, she doesn't like talking to customer service people on the phone, and I'm a skilled professional, so I called there for her
Hello.
and said
What,
she needs. I'm not going to tell
Was
you
it
the
a
other
call
part.
center around like this
They
part?
were, yes, they were.
Okay.
They were not foreign.
Okay.
And but I said, you know, and I'm not going to tell you the other part
This
of
is
it that I
Skinemax
did.
support. Can I help you?
Because I don't want to offend people who are listening. There was another part to this that I'm going to leave out. But when I was asked, what we wanted, I kept saying she wants to cancel her Skinemax. And the girl thought it was just hilarious. She goes, did you say Skinemax? I said, yeah, isn't that what it is? And she's like, I've never heard anyone call it that before. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, it's
bullshit.
Skinemax.
Everybody calls it that.
Everyone calls it Skinemax. And I want to cancel it. I don't need all the skin from Skinemax.
I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
The phone has cool websites I can see daily called Pornhub.
I've never used my phone.
Really? Why do you think screens got bigger?
Yeah, that makes
You
perfect
remember,
sense.
you remember when like you had the brick phone and then all of a sudden it started shrinking, and then people are like, holy crap, you
Yeah.
could get the internet on your phone. Holy crap, you could get porn on your phone. And then the screens got bigger,
Yeah,
bigger,
like,
bigger again.
yeah, that makes sense.
Soon it's going to be like a 15-inch monitor. It's going to be like, hello? Oh, porn. Yes.
Yeah. That well, if Elon Musk has its way, it beams it
It'll
right
beam
into your head,
right in
right?
your head.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that. If it beams right into your head, can we do like some sort of like feeling so like it'll hit the like
Oh, I'm
dick
sure they're
nerve, like
working
it'll
on
hit
it,
the
yeah.
dick nerve and it'll be like
I'm sure they're working on that.
you sit there and you're like showing the O face and
Yeah.
it's like oh,
That's the dream.
oh.
No, I have my I have this magazine called Cherry from 1987, and that's what I use. And I've never used my phone.
The pages are still sticking
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. The craziest thing. That's about Elon Musk.
Funny. If you're still using the same exact magazine from, I don't even think you could open it. It would still it'd be sticking together.
Yeah.
No, I use a tube sock every time.
Yep.
Did you ever see American Pie? No, was it American? I think it was American Reunion. Yes, it was American Reunion out of the American Pie series. It was newer. It was like maybe maybe like
Is that the one
2012,
where
13.
where they're married and they have a kid now.
Yes.
And he picks up that young girl who was super hot.
Yeah. But he, at the very beginning, when she's like, oh, I'm going to go, like they hit the kid down to sleep, and then she wakes, or she's like, I'm going to go take a bath, and she's fucking masturbating, and he's like, oh, she's in the bath, so I'm going to masturbate too, instead of just being like a normal couple and fucking.
Yeah.
And then the kid walks in, and like he slams his dick, and it's all bleeding and shit. Daddy, why are you bleeding?
Oh my God.
It's like, those things are like, you know, it's so far-fetched, but the way they do it is hilarious. Like, I think, did you ever see The Naked Mile, which is an American Pie one too? And at the very beginning, he's like jacking off, and he's like got the fucking the headphones on because his neighbor's outside, so he wants to hear the movie, and so he puts the headphones on. He doesn't know that his parents and grandmother walked in the fucking thing, so he's fucking jacking off, and then all of a sudden they're there, and he's like fucking comes all over his family and kills his grandmother.
It's horrible.
It's like every time you do one thing over on top, and it's like, oh my God, that's hilarious. It's so bullshit, but it's so fucking funny.
Here's my joke. You ready? Why did the semen cross the road?
To get to the uvula.
Put on the wrong sock this morning.
Ayo. Dun, dun,
yeah. So yeah, those movies are hilarious.
I love American Pies.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I love comedy, and I had forgotten about that.
I love comedies that are so inappropriate.
Yes,
because they're funny.
Yeah, they're just great.
I love the college humor ones from the 2000 era.
Yeah, they're
because
great.
now the college humor ones are you offend me.
Yeah,
I'm going to come after you because you offend me.
Yeah.
Safety!
Yeah.
Safety! I'll give you a safety right here. Fucking watch White Girls.
Oh, I remember that movie.
I think they're coming out with another one.
How is
like
okay?
Legitimately.
So that's not offensive though. We can't be offended.
No, I think it's fucking hilarious.
All right.
It's whiteface. So we're gonna do Black Guys. We're gonna do the movie Black Guys.
Yeah, that's a perfect idea. Well, you know, I often thought like, so there's the website Black People Meet. Did I tell you my story about that?
No.
Okay.
Wait, is this like Tinder for black people?
You don't know about blackpeoplemeet.com?
No.
What?
No.
Holy cow. So I was.
Is this Tinder for black people? Can I sign up, even though I'm white?
You got to listen. You got to listen to a story.
Let's say
it's really good.
But I just need the answer. Is this a dating service for black people?
So I was.
Jesus Christ! Answer the fucking question. Oh God, I'm gonna look this up now
because
I can't.
You definitely have to. So I was I was half asleep at about 3:30 in the morning, and I heard a commercial or some kind of advertisement for blackpeoplemeet.com, and I was confused on whether it was special meet for black people or
it is black dating.
Yeah.
What the bullshit is that?
Yeah. You don't know about it?
No.
Oh.
Now I do.
So
but what if I want to date a black person? The fuck?
No. So I was half asleep, and I thought that it was special meat that you could order because it was an infomercial. I thought it was like meat for black people, or
are you sure it wasn't the dildos?
Again, I was half asleep, so that's what I thought.
It's delivered to you in a special
that's
box.
What I thought. I'm
with
like
Amazon Prime on the side.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, is it special meat that black people want to eat, or is it? Is it a dildo that women buy? I didn't understand what it was.
You were like a quarter awake.
Yeah,
and
I was half awake. Yeah, black people meat. What is that? So then
it's MEET, not MEAT.
Yeah,
we're not eating people.
That's what I thought. Like, what is going on here?
No, it's dating service. So when you said blackpeoplemeet.com, I immediately thought dating service.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
And I'm so mad because it's like, what if I want to date a black person?
Well, that's what my question
was. Son
of
a bitch.
Yeah, so when I found out that it was a dating site exclusively for black people to meet, I'm like, well, can you be white and be on there? And
did you sign up for it?
The details are still murky because this was like 8 years ago when whenever it came out, that's when this was. And the details are still murky on whether you can of another ethnicity. However, so if there's black people meet, then where is white people meet and Italian people meet?
Hold on. Can white people sign up on black people meet?
But on a serious note, isn't that continuing the segregation?
Yes.
And where is Italian people?
But it's
meet?
also like terms of use. Black people, you can request a refund to cancel. Black dating for black singles. Scam or real dates. Founder of white people. Oh, there is a white people meet.
There is.
Apparently.
Okay. And that's not racist.
No, founder. It says, "Don't call me a racist. I dated a black woman once." It's like the typical bullshit.
Okay.
Where white people. There is there is actually a white people meet one.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
No, but there is a black people meet.
Okay. No, I mean, I guess if you wanna, I mean, it's not.
Why? That's bullshit. Why can't you be like a different ethnicity? That's ridiculous.
Now,
But it's also like what was that farm one?
Oh, farmers only.
Yeah, farmers
sure.
only. Or like you know what one actually really pisses me off is our time.
Really?
For 50
Why?
and older?
Why?
For 50 and older?
I'm not that far away.
Because I like cougars.
Yeah.
So if
get on there.
if I want a 50-year-old woman, I can't go on our time because I'm not that time.
I guess so.
What the fuck?
That's discrimination. They're all discrimination. Oh, there's a lot of great dating websites. I myself am on diapermates.com. I don't know if you've
I don't know what that is.
Diapermates?
Is that somebody where you change each other's diapers?
That's exactly
okay,
it. How
here.
did you know?
You represent and warrant that you are at least 18 years old. You are legally qualified to enter a binding contract with People Media. You are single or separated from your spouse. You are not located in a country that is not subject to a U.S. government embargo. So that means people from Cuba can't. You are not on the list of prohibited. Oh, you're not convicted or plead no contest. Oh, they say you have not been convicted of or pled no contest to a felony or offense.
Well, it's good that they have
A
standards.
sex crime. That's cool.
Okay.
So anybody who wants to go on Black People Meet, apparently everybody on there can't be convicted of crimes.
All right.
That's actually a pretty
Yeah,
cool
it's a
thing.
good idea.
Yeah, you're not required to register. It does not say that you need to be black. It does not say that you could be white
Good.
or Asian or anything.
So I think that's the whole thing. But aren't we just continuing the segregation? Aren't we
Absolutely.
protect-
Absolutely. Just enjoy people for what you want. I mean, unfortunately, it's going to be around and blah, blah, blah. And you're never going to. But you know what? We can change things. So
Well, I'm changing my profile from Diapermates to Clown Dating.
I don't know what
.com.
Diaper Mates is, but
Yep, clowndating.com is the new one that I'll be on. So you can find me there.
yeah, I don't think they can actually say that you can't sign up if you're white. Or I think other people can like report you though and be like, dude, he's not white or he's not black, he's white. And yeah, because I'm looking through here and it doesn't show anything that says like you have to be black for this. It doesn't say that. That's bullshit.
But isn't it implied?
I think so.
It's got to be implied just by the name alone.
But apparently there is a white people meet. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, and there is farmers only. So apparently you got to be a country person in order to do farmers only.
I prefer sea captain dating for sea captains. So you can be on farmers only. I'll be on
I
sea captain
am
dating.
still wanting our time.
Okay. Well, write them a letter. And be
Actually,
like,
I got to
"Look."
see is our time regulations.
Yeah.
Our time regulations.
No, clowndating.com is a real website, by the way, where you can, if you're a clown, you sign up to date other clowns. Diapermates is a real website where if you are a fan of being put in a diaper
Here we go.
and you're an
Terms
adult
of-
baby, you
terms
can
of
go
use.
on there.
You must be.
I know what you mean.
Here it is. It says you have to be 18 years of old.
Okay.
Oh, this is the exact same thing. I think our time is literally the same thing as Black People Meet.
Probably.
It's the exact same.
Yeah, they're probably all owned by the same person. Here's the one for you. Since you like older women, here's one that they can't even go anywhere.
How about Cougar Hunter?
Nope, meetaninmate.com.
No thanks.
Wow, you always know where they are.
I'll pass.
They're never going anywhere.
Pass.
He's a hard no. Hard no on that one. How about Star Trek dating?
No.
No, not going to date a Trekkie. What about 7 of 9? Have you seen 7 of 9?
Huh?
7 of 9.
No.
Do you know who 7 of 9 is?
No.
You don't.
Hold on. I'm going to ask, do you have to be 50 to join our time? Da, 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 da. Why can't... Why can't it just say, is our time scamming you? Everything's scam out there.
This is
Everything.
our time.
It's
Everything is a scam these days, isn't it? It's so unfortunate.
It is.
Don't get scammed by the scammers, people.
ConsumerAffairs.com. Let's see. Can I sign up if I am under over a year using this website? These are experiences that I found using the website.
See,
The first thing
it's
I realized,
age discrimination.
I was receiving letters. The letters were given to me by very generic, standard letters. They don't write an original letter based on what you see from the profile. Many women here are using what we call catfishing, meaning that they are fish with you sexy greetings or inappropriate conversation for adults. When you talk to them after their SMS chat program, most girls will respond with another question after you ask them a question. Some other folks, no shit. I just want to know. A lot of fake profiles. Oh, that's why.
Do you remember when...
I just want to know if I can sign up.
Oh, do you remember when that one website got hacked? What's it? Ashley Madison. Remember that?
No.
You
I don't know who Ashley Madison is.
What?
I probably do, but I don't know, like, who is... Say it.
So AshleyMadison.com used to have a commercial
porn?
that said, "We're married, but not to each other." So what it was for married people to meet other people to go out with. And whether they're...
Feel the thrill of adventurous dating. Over 55 million. Is he cheating on you? Search his email address here. Meet bored men and lonely housewives. So this is like a cheat on me thing.
I told you there are local singles in my area that want to meet me.
So then why haven't you had sex in 10 years?
Good question.
Well, this says it's Canadian online dating. This doesn't say it's the U.S.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we aren't close to the border. Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I think I might have found something. It says...
Actually, you know what?
Destinations, New York. Okay, so it is in the U.S.
Now that you mention it, that's one of my pet peeves that was a problem with the dating site.
Which one?
Well, one of them, I don't know. So the problem is that we do live by a border. And I was getting a whole bunch of profiles from people who are in another country.
So you were in Plenty of Fish, or was it Tinder?
One of those. I can't remember.
Well, it's one or the other.
So I told you.
When you swipe and when you actually look at.
It was diapermates.com.
No, what's the real one?
So, but the problem was there's no way to turn off foreign country. Like, yes, they're 17 miles away.
It says here. Okay, so if it was Tinder, you can say U.S. only.
You can. They added that now?
But it doesn't actually filter out.
Oh, okay.
So it will show people in Canada,
Yeah.
even though you say, I don't want to date Canadian.
Right.
Because the border issue is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they should stop that.
But yeah, no,
And how come the Canadian chicks are so hot on there?
Because it's right by we're right by Toronto, so you're gonna have all the fake profiles.
Oh, those are fake?
Probably a lot of them are.
Oh man,
a lot of them are. You'll be able to you'll tell.
It's really
like
sweaty, Steve.
unless it's like a person who shows like a Toronto background or like a Canadian flag or like
you mean
Toronto
the one
Maple
with the
Leafs
tropic,
or something.
the palm trees in it wasn't from Toronto?
No. Chances are no.
Damn it.
Probably catfishing.
Oh man.
Or scamming or something. So yeah, that's the issue with those.
Horrible.
But yeah, a lot of those people are in Toronto, and there's Tinder is plagued with fake profiles. I don't know if they've gotten any better because I haven't used it in I couldn't even tell you how long, like a long time.
I used to save just the funny profiles.
The what?
The funny ones.
Did you ever see the toilet?
Yeah. The toilet.
There's actually a few profiles that did it because I was looking it up because I was trying to show somebody, and there was like a bunch of different ones on there, and they were all different conversations they were had. I'm like, oh my god, that's fucking great.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
That was hilarious. I'm like, really? Okay, I guess you got that much time to like fuck around and joke around, and there's no problem with it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Or maybe you're just like that fun type of person.
Yeah, so clowndating.com, I think I'm going to change to that. Or
I'm going to pass.
A bunch of good ones.
I want our time. I want those hot old ladies. I mean, like, if I can get a Halle Berry, who was in her 50s, or Jennifer Aniston in her 50s. Oh my
Elizabeth Hurley.
God. Courtney Cox even I can throw in there.
For sure.
There's a lot of women in their 50s that are fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. For sure. That's definitely for sure.
And then there's a lot in their 40s that are gorgeous too.
Yeah.
And they know things. They can teach you things.
Yeah.
One of my exes is 14 years older than I was. So when I was dating her, I was 28 and she was 42, 43. And yeah, she taught me things.
See, that's great. That's a good time.
Actually, I taught her a couple of things too.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, no, it was yeah. I like the older women. I got to say that. Although I have a girlfriend, she's younger. I don't know how the fuck that one happened.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, it was weird. It I don't know. That I got to say, for a few years of my life, the youngest girl I dated, so not my current girlfriend, but my ex-girlfriend, she was the youngest I dated, and she was still like 4 or 5 years older than I am. And then I started dating this girl who's much younger than, not much younger, but she's, what, 5 years younger than me? 4 years, no, like, yeah, about 5 years younger than me. I don't get it. It's weird.
Very interesting. Dating is very interesting.
Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing when it comes to it is like not the two people that are in it, but all the people around it who have to say like give their 2 cents about it. It's like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that sucks. I realized that when I was in my early 20s, like everyone had an opinion about all this and that. And now that I'm
it's continues there because when I was dating the woman who's 14 years older than I was, she was in the process of getting a divorce. Like she wanted the divorce, but there were complications with it, so it was taking forever. And so we were dating, and I met friends of hers, she met friends of mine, and for that, like those people were all good. Like her family, her friends, whatever, we all got along. We were good. They liked us, or they liked us together. But it was the people on the outside of that. Mm-hmm. Because you see a woman who's in her 40s and you see a guy in his late 20s or her early 40s and a guy in his late 20s, and you're like, whoa, where do you see this one going? And like they have to say stuff about it, and it's like, shut up, you're not in the relationship, you don't know. Like we have had a lot of fun. It was fun, it was good, we enjoyed each other. We went out and did a lot of things. Sex was phenomenal, all these things. But I'll never forget one time we went to a bar not too far from here, and like they were IDing everybody. So she went first, showed her ID, again, born in 70s. And I show my ID, and like we're obviously walking in together. We're the only two walking in together at the same time. I'm walking in behind, and the bouncer's like, he like pulls me aside, and he's like going like this, like yours. I'm like, yeah. He's like, fuck yeah, nice. Like,
the whole thing.
But yeah, no.
I know what you mean about the people who are. They always have their 2 cents worth, and I've done it myself. It was like, oh, he's an asshole. You need to get away from him. Or she's psychopath. Get out of there.
Everybody does.
But no, we got to stop doing that. Though,
oh yeah,
because it's
everybody
their
does.
relationship.
Now here's the thing. For me, like I try to stay out of other people's relationships as well too. But like if somebody asks me on my opinion on it, I'll be like, look, here's what I see. But again, this is what I see. This isn't necessarily. But like, if somebody's like physically or mentally abusing somebody, or if somebody like you can tell that they're just not a happy person. Like you knew them before and they were happy, they were go lucky, and then all of a sudden they changed and they're not happy, they're not like doing well. Like that's when I would step in and say, look, what is going on with you?
Being a friend.
You're not the person I know. You're not happy. You're not acting well. Is there a problem? You know, the relationship looks like it's not well.
Yeah.
Why don't you get out of it? And then if you're complaining to me about that person that you're in a relationship with, and I say, then get out of the fucking relationship, and you don't do anything, and you just continue to be on that saying the exact same things a year later, it's like, well, you know what? I don't have any time for that anymore because I told you and you're just being stupid right now.
Yeah.
So at that point, and so like, yeah, it's this weird. It's this weird thing because it's like, when is it okay to say something? When isn't it? I mean, obviously, when somebody's being abused in any way, shape, or form, it needs to be addressed immediately. But I'm saying, like, if it's more like this person just seems like they change or they're not talking to this, you know, I mean, obviously, people change and they're not the same person as they were. And nobody's static. Everybody changes. So the thing is, what happens, like, maybe that's the path that they want to choose, and maybe your relationship with that person, either friendship or whatever it is starting to come to an end, and you're getting salty about it, or they're salty about it or something. You know, you really can't tell what's going on because you're not necessarily in it. But if you see them fighting constantly, if you see them arguing, if you see, you know, her looking at another guy or her talking to another guy, and the same thing, if he's talking to another girl, looking at other girls in this thing, it's, you know, that's when you should probably step in. But
here's my question. What if you're friends with both of them and one of them cheats on the other one? Do you tell the other one that they got cheated on? What if you're friends with both? What if one cheats on the other?
Who do you like better?
Well, they're both.
Who do you like? Here's the thing. There's always someone you like better. It's never equal. Even if you get into that little tiny little.
You're right.
Minute
so how
difference.
How about this?
There's somebody gonna be. So whoever you like more, go with that person.
Well, how about this? How about you?
But see, here's the thing. The true answer is probably tell the truth.
Okay.
One, somebody's going to get pissed off at you no matter what, because the truth will come out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when.
Yeah.
It will come out, and then if they found out you knew and didn't say something, you're fucked. So it's just easier to say.
And then if you did say something, you're fucked anyway.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly.
It's a catch-22.
You're done. Yeah.
So
it sucks.
So here's the thing. It's like, well, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing and say, look, this person's cheating on you.
That's what I did.
And if it's then in their court on what they want to do. If they want to, obviously they're going to get pissed off, but you know what? Down the road, if they want to come back, because yes, that's going to be, they're not going to be pissed off at you. They're going to be pissed off at the message, and you're the delivery boy or the delivery girl. And so they're pissed off at that. They're pissed off at the person that did that to them because they cared deeply about them. They could love that person and they did them wrong.
They're pissed at the messenger too. That's what sucks.
Yeah, but again, it's the message. It's not the person.
Oh, right. So well, you would think that. You're like, oh, I'm being a good friend, and I love and care about you, so I'm going to tell you the truth. But then they're not only mad at that person, then they're mad at you.
They're going to be mad at you, but then they're going to have to. They're going to have to bite their fucking ego and realize that, look, you actually helped me out.
Nope, that didn't happen.
And well, then you're better off.
Yeah. I guess so.
You're better off.
I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, but it's such an awkward situation because he was a good bro, really helped me out and do a lot of stuff and a lot of fun, and just a good bro, you know, you're a good bro. But then she was just an innocent, really good person that didn't deserve to get cheated on. And if you love and care about that person too, you're like, oh, I love and care about you.
But here's the other question. You know, you might need to do a little investigative research first before you just flat out tell them, because some people are like, this relationship works.
Yeah.
And if you go out, like, it could be a common understanding that says, if you go out, don't have it come back to me. I don't want to know, like, I don't want to know what you're doing outside of me not seeing you. But no, I'm not. That's the thing, though. I'm saying some people can be like that.
Well, for sure, people have open relationships.
It's not. No, it's where it's not necessarily open relationship. It's just basically saying, like, I don't
Well,
want to
that's
know.
denial. Okay. You're in a denial relationship.
You're playing denial,
Yeah,
but
that's
you
not healthy.
but in that relationship, your relationship with that person works. Maybe you have children, you don't want to
Yeah.
like do whatever it could be. So there's always varying degrees because it's not this one.
Well, that's
plus
knowing
one
your
plus
place.
one.
Like if you don't know the ins and outs of the relationship, then you got to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, but
For
here's the
sure.
thing. Here's the thing, though. I could have met you 3 times, and you could have seen me out at the bar
Yeah.
picking up another girl, taking her home, and then you see me and my girlfriend.
Yeah, see, that's
and
where you don't know your role.
And it's like, yeah, you don't know. But the thing is, you know that there was another person that I was sleeping with or something.
No, you don't think
and
so?
that's so. The question is it right to tell that person, or is it wrong, or do you confront the person who's cheating?
Yeah. Well, you don't know. See, that's the thing. You don't know that person's cheating. All that you know is you saw him with another person. You don't know the
Well, you
relationship.
see me grab her ass.
Yeah.
You see me fondle
So
her.
maybe your
make
wife's
out
down with
her.
that. Like that's where you can't assume that you know the details of
Yeah, so
someone's
I mean, but that's the whole thing.
relationship.
It's like,
Yeah, I'm not
it's
all
this,
about that. Plus, I
you
know
gotta-
so many people who are in different weird relationships. They're not even weird. Different non-conformist relationships. I would never judge someone.
Yeah, I mean,
thinking that I know what their relationship is about.
most people are in a committed relationship that infidelity is not acceptable.
Right. Yeah.
But again, like I say, some people turn a blind eye to it for a reason, because they are happy with the person.
Yeah.
They just don't want to know that person would do them wrong like that, because then they have to face that reality. And yes, it's living in denial, but it doesn't have to be. It can be also where they're like, this relationship I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
But again, for those few hours when he says he's working late, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want. I'm just gonna live my life and not worry about it. He's gonna come home.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our thing, and we're gonna team up our way, and hope that nobody gets pregnant or something. Yeah. So, that's one. I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have kids and they're not the biological parent.
Sure, of course.
And it's a real problem. So, and they think that they're the parent and all that, and it's like, well, you're not.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's horrendous. Like cheating and infidelity, when you tell somebody, look, that's something you don't do. Like, just end a relationship with somebody. What's the point?
For sure.
What's the
That
problem?
I've always had that opinion ever since I was a young adult. I'm like, you know what? Cheating is fucking stupid. There's literally no reason for it. If you can't come home and say, look, I am not satisfied in this specific way, and if you can't be honest with your partner, that's probably a lot of the reason why I'm single, is because.
Well, yeah, I mean, communication itself
Yeah.
is very difficult between men and women, because
really is.
they don't really, I don't know if they don't know how to say like what they want, or they're too worried about what the other person thinks.
That's exactly it.
But it's like, you need to have those conversations. You need to be able to share that, because if you don't, you're not a real team. You're not going to be able to work together well.
Yeah.
You guys got to know each other inside and out. And yeah, if your needs aren't being met somewhere, like if you want, like, let's say you're dating somebody, and they're not the most handsy. Like you like touching them, you like holding hands or something, you like putting your arm around them or whatever it might be, but they like to be they don't like that. But you never had the conversation. Like, that's just how the dynamic happened. But if you say, look, I like to put my arm around you, or I like to hold hands at certain times, like whatever it might be, you need to express that. And then that person might be like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that you did like that, or want that, or need that in the relationship. Like, there's a lot of different things. So then you gotta, if maybe that person doesn't like it, but they're gonna do it because you like it. Or vice versa. Or maybe you do too much and they say, look, I don't like it as much. Can you stop a little bit? So it's like this compromise between the two. And then, you find this new neutral ground where you guys are both happy. But yeah, if you don't say something, it never gets said, and problems happen.
I don't like getting nails scratched down my back.
I love it in my hair. It's like, I do like it on the back, but I don't like blood.
No.
Like, you don't cut me. Like,
Yeah,
get me in there just enough.
No, I
But
don't like that
on
either.
the head, it's like, oh, get in there as hard as
That's
you can.
nice, yeah.
Oh yeah, get in there. Like, if you make my head bleed, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, for some reason that feels good, but I don't like getting scraped down the back. I don't like my balls being touched. I don't like that. And a lot of people like their balls and like, no, don't fondle my balls. I don't need that.
You know what the weird thing is like the finger in the ass thing.
Yeah.
Like, for a guy, like, apparently it's like this big thing that guys like apparently secretly like or something. I don't know. I've never had it done, and I don't really want to.
Well, no, the problem is not the finger. I think it's the surprise finger in the ass is what the problem is, right?
No, from what
Surprise!
I like, yeah, I don't know. No, from what I've like seen and heard about, it's like apparently. I mean, like, you've seen Road Trip, right?
Yes.
With Sean William Scott.
Yes.
They went to go donate sperm.
Yes.
And he's like trying to hit
Yeah,
on
he goes,
the nurse, and she's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to perform a anal ejaculation.
Yeah.
So he's like turn around, drop your pants.
Yeah, and he loves
and
it.
then he's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know if that like opened the door to be like, hey, yo, stick a finger in my ass, because like, I'll fucking stick my finger up bitch's ass all the time. You know, whoever I'm sleeping with, I'll be like, that's going up there.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll get 2 up there, and then hopefully I'm gonna fucking shove my dick in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's like this like, and then all of a sudden it became like this mainstream thing where it sounded like that was like the thing that was going on.
Well, apparently,
and I'm like, wait, what?
Apparently, a prostate orgasm is supposed to feel really good.
I don't know.
No, go order something from Amazon. Order a butt plug from Amazon and try it out.
Well, if I'm getting a butt plug, I'm sticking up her ass.
Yeah, try it. Yeah, go try it out.
I'm not putting in mine.
Yeah.
I just don't have. I don't know. I don't know. It's.
Chris,
I don't know. I've never.
If
had
you try
that.
something in your ass, it does not mean you're gay.
No, I
it's
didn't say
okay.
that.
You could try it out.
No, I didn't say that. I don't care.
That's
I'm
the
just,
fear.
No.
That's the fear. Does this mean
here-
I'm gay?
See, here's the thing. That's not the truth. That's not the truth, because first of all, I like pussy.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. I like how wet it gets.
Yeah.
I like when it spooges all over me.
Yeah, it's fun for everyone.
I love a wet coming pussy.
Yeah, it's great.
Holy crap. If a pussy squirts, whew,
Yeah.
my God. I've had bed sheet, like on a king size bed, half of the bed covered, so we had to sleep on the other half.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And you know, I've had couch cushions that were covered in it,
Yeah.
and it's like, holy fuck yes.
But if you like prostate orgasm too, that doesn't mean you're gay.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I didn't say it did. I just said I don't know if I just don't have any inkling for
Well, no,
it.
that's the phobia for why a lot of guys won't try things in their ass, because they think it makes them gay.
I
That's
have
the-
no
yeah.
idea.
No,
like, to
definitely
me,
not.
I don't think it would.
Okay.
Like,
Good.
that's not what crossed my mind. I just said I don't think I would like it.
Oh,
But then
who
again,
knows?
I shove things in people's butts all the time, and they like it.
yeah. Well, you're a
So-
giver, not a receiver.
True.
Nothing wrong with that.
But then again, I watch a lot of porn, and it's all like bitches taken in the ass.
Well, it's crazy.
Women
I mean,
taken in the ass.
that's not reality. Like, it's,
Oh no, it's not.
you know.
Absolutely, it's not. But still,
I often wondered like what it would be like if that was your job and you just went there and like, oh, I'm here for my job, and then you're like, oh, this is my job. It's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be unique
Yeah.
because it would be so over the top, and you probably have to do it like 4 times a day with like different people, different scenes, different cuts, different locations, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's really, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be very strange.
I mean, it's got to be better than sitting at my cubicle, so maybe I'll go for it.
Yeah, but it's been so long for you. You'd probably like touch a girl and be like, oh.
No, I don't have that
Be like,
problem.
oh.
It's weird. I have the opposite.
You'd have an
problem.
anal orgasm.
I'm willing to try it on camera if you pay me enough.
Whoa. Whoa.
If you pay me
Not
enough.
on this channel.
Yep. Oh, damn it.
Not on YouTube. Sorry.
Dreams ruined.
You could go on Twitter. Apparently it's legal there.
Dreams ruined.
I think Pornhub pays you.
Really?
Yeah, I think they pay you like $30,000 for amateur videos.
No shit.
Something like that.
That's exciting. You probably have to, it's probably just like YouTube, you probably have to have a big following.
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
I think they're looking for like the amateur people next door type situations.
Very interesting.
I thought about making a porn site.
I don't have the body for it.
Calling naughty neighbors.
You thought the exact same thing I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Trademark pending, by the way.
Yeah. Don't steal Chris's idea that he stole from my brain.
Well, Neuralink, apparently.
Yeah, it's got to be it. That's exactly what I thought. I'm not even kidding. Like, for 15 years, I've been thinking of this website.
Because I might have thought about or I might have thought about neighbors in a naughty style at some point.
Plus, you know what? Oh, a whole nother topic for another time.
All those cougars out there. Ooh.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that walking down the street, be like,
Yeah.
come over to my place. I'll show you what's up. I'll give you a workout.
Having recently went back to school, young girls are hot and attractive too. And older women are hot and attractive too. So I've decided that I like women.
See, here's the problem with younger women. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. You said you went back to school. So I take women, young 18, 19, 20, 21-ish year old women. I'm going to say girls because that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, a lot of them.
From college.
Yeah, 23 was good.
I will take them from parties or from school to somewhere.
I met a 21-year-old girl.
They're annoying as fuck.
For sure.
They're so entitled. They're such brats that you want to look at them and be like, you need to grow the fuck up.
Well, I mean, you're seeing a small cross-section of people because you are picking up party people.
No, it's not always. I also differentiated by saying picking up people from campuses and going to other places. So I didn't say just parties. I said a lot of the bulk is parties.
You're
but that's
totally
not
right.
It. Some are going to their,
they're 90%
dorms
of
or some of them or whatever, or between campus.
I met a 23-year-old that was much more mature than
some
lot
of
the
them
people
are.
that I met, and I met a 21-year-old who was a girl, was a girl. Like,
some of them. Well, here's the thing: there are some women out there that are 20, 21, 19 that are much more mature, and like they're. If you dated them at your age. Would probably be a pretty good match.
That 23-year-old had a 34-year-old
there's also
boyfriend.
35-year-old women that are little girls and very extremely immature. And that's the same thing with guys too. Like there's
I'm
guys
probably one of those immature guys
in both
these
aspects.
Women are like, that guy's a
giant
child.
People listening to us when we're talking about fucking coming pussies and shit, they're like, "Oh my god, that's so immature." No, it's not. It's actually pretty hot. And I love when it goes all over me. Enjoy it, embrace it, and
I don't know what I like. I think I'll just be happy to be there.
Where?
During the event.
Like be happy in a vagina?
Yeah.
Well, you got to get a vagina first. It's been how many years? They're not expensive. You could, dude, go on Tinder, be like, match. Okay, hey, want to meet up?
See, I don't get matches.
Who is going where? You got to have a girl make your profile. That's why.
I did. That's what I did a long time ago, and it worked. It really did work. I met 6 or 7 women in the course of like a month or two.
How long? Yeah, but what year was this?
Oh, I was in my 20s.
What year was this?
2008 or 9.
Oh, yeah. Online dating is so much different today.
Yeah.
It's like you meet up and it's like literally at the end of it.
At my work, about 4 years ago, I was doing the swipe, that one where you swipe.
Yeah,
but I just
Bumble.
didn't have a lot of
Yeah, but you got to have a girl make your
That's why it was my mistake. Yeah.
And so if you revisit that and you go out with a girl, hold on. If you go out with a girl, you go out, be like, hey, let's go meet for drinks at a local bar and hang out. And then by the end of it, it'll be like, okay, your place or mine.
No, see, I need to be on 40 dates before I'm comfortable.
No, you need to have sex.
No. Yeah. Maybe someday.
You just need to have sex.
Maybe. Well, so my first question is on the dating sites.
It's a need.
On the dating sites, I did try to have a young lady make my profile for me. And the problem with her was that at the time I was a vapor. I vaped the vape. Mm-hmm. I used to be a smoker, but then the electronic cigarettes came out and I found one that worked for me.
Have quit as well too, which is Awesome.
Yes. So now my life is super boring. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke the marijuana. I don't take aspirins, and I don't smoke. My life is super boring.
But you have a podcast.
I do have a podcast.
And it's awesome.
It's an awesome podcast. I look forward to it every week.
Not only that, but we have our other channel that's coming out very soon.
That's going to be awesome too. But
and that's going to be freaking crazy awesome. Yeah. And then on top of that, we have another adventure that we're going down.
We got the possibilities are endless. But here's my question. So on the dating website, my young lady friend who was going to do my profile for me because she knows what women want, of course. And the only thing was she would not allow me to check off the non-smoking thing on the website. She wanted me to put in my profile that I was a vapor. I'm like, look, it's the fucking internet. Everybody lies.
So here's the thing.
I don't need to vape.
Why wouldn't you just put that in your profile and say, okay, fine, make it like this big
I was
deal,
going to do that.
and then delete it
of course. After the fact. But see, I'm an honest person, and it was the principle of the thing.
It's got
and I'm
nothing
like,
to do with honesty. It's just omiting information.
Of course. But if
somebody asks you, just be like, yeah, I vape.
Yeah. I don't, but that's what I told her. I'm like,
I'm
look,
quitting.
When I go on these dates, I don't need to vape if they're a non-smoker, and I'll fucking quit vaping if I really like them that much. Who gives a shit?
Which you already quit, so you don't.
So now it's a non-issue.
It doesn't even matter.
But the question is, though, like, is it okay to lie on your profile just a little bit? Everyone lies, right? Like, I tell them I have a 12-inch dick when really it's only 9 inches.
I believe that everybody thinks they're telling the truth.
No, people know that they're lying on their profile.
I think people think they're telling the truth.
All right, when you get the picture taken for women, they take the picture at this angle, which is an optical illusion.
Because it's flattering.
Because they know that they're overweight.
You get double chins.
Yeah.
So when you look down
but they know that they're doing it.
But that doesn't
Everyone
matter.
lies a little bit.
Is that really lying? No, filters are lying.
That's for
Makeup
sure.
is lying.
Makeup is definitely lying. So that's what I'm like, what's the big deal? I don't have to vape. If they're a non-smoker, I don't need to vape around them. I'll wait until I get home. And if I like them, then I'll tell them. If she would not do my profile just because I wouldn't.
You should have just been like,
of course I could do that.
You're pain in my ass.
Well, no, it was the principle of the thing, though, because this is the type of friendship that we have and still have. Mm-hmm. But, I mean.
Well, you should have her do it now, but the only difference is be like, I don't fucking smoke now, bitch. Yeah. What up?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then that way you could do my profile for me.
You didn't know me you met me when I vaped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I met you when you smoked.
Oh, I smoked cigarettes?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I haven't smoked cigarettes in a long time.
I think it was just as you were starting to vape. I
don't think so, because I've been vaping for like 6 or 7 years. No.
Oh.
You know what? I might have smoked when I would smoke cigarettes if I ran out of juice or it broke.
That's probably what it was then.
Maybe. Yeah, I might have smoked 1 or 2 because I did smoke. Man, you know what? For people who have never, it's so bad, but here's what the thing was. I chain smoked like it was going out of style. I had a horrible problem. And then the vaping came around, and I vaped for a good 2 or 3 years before I had another cigarette. I was out with my bartender friend. My vape battery died, and she gave me a cigarette. I smoked that cigarette. It was literally like I went out in the parking lot and picked up a piece of asphalt from the parking lot and chewed it. Like, it was horrible. It was the worst thing. And that's the worst decision I've made ever in my life, is smoking.
Oh, this is going down smooth.
Yep. But it's an addiction. It really is an addiction. Yeah. And the thing is, growing up playing so many sports, so many sports and hockey, I was so concerned about my body that my relatives smoked they were younger than me, smoked 2 or 3 years before I did. And they finally peer pressured me into it. I didn't smoke till later
Bastards.
on. Yep. And then after that, it was off to the races. Like, chain smoking, because I have an addictive personality, apparently. And you know what helped me quit smoking and quit vaping? Meditation. It's the craziest thing. We'll have to talk about that someday.
I thought you were going to say Pornhub.
Nope, never heard of it. Someday I might have to check that out when I go home then.
I guess so. All right.
Might be time to get rid of my magazine, huh?
Well, I don't know how you can open it anymore.
Yeah.
And plus, it's probably all smudged off because you're probably like trying to rub the paper, so the ink is all gone. And
the lips are worn off all the hot girls from kissing them.
Oh boy!
Good Lord.
Now you said it was in the 80s, so that means it would be all hairy bush.
They're definitely hairy bushes. That's why I won't get rid of it. It's the giant hairy bushes.
It's the cum catchers.
Yeah. I don't mind a little bush. I never mind it. You know what though? I think I was 25.
I like a nice shaved vagina.
Well, I do too, but I don't mind the
shaved
bush
pussy.
either. Yeah, but a girl that lived around the corner from me called me up one night. I was 25.
I don't want to floss when
Yeah.
I'm going down on a girl.
No, it's never that bad. She called me up and I came over. Now, if you had invited a man over to your house to come and give it to you, you'd do some landscaping, right? Like when I got there, she had gigantic jungle bush, like the worst I've ever seen. I'm like thinking, like, you knew
Is
I
she
was
from the Amazon?
Well, that's what I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, you are expecting, and I'm like, you know that.
Did she shave her legs?
Her legs were shaved.
Oh, because I was going to say it could be one of those. Did she
No,
shave
she
her
wasn't a Wookiee.
Because she could be one of those that
She
doesn't
was-
shave
no.
and be like,
No, that's why I wouldn't sleep with
Did
the
you ever
Wookiee.
see Waiting?
Yeah.
With Ryan Reynolds,
Oh,
when
it's
she
a great
pulls
movie.
it up and it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's so
It's like
angry.
a Cheeto in there.
Yeah, it's so angry. That bush in that movie is not even as bad as this girl's bush. I'm like,
Oh my God.
What the fuck? I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know that you're having company and people are going to be down there. Why?
So here's the question. Did you go through with it?
Of course
or not?
I did.
All right.
And
That's all
then-
that matters.
So then my friends found out because a buddy of mine ended up sleeping with her like a week later. And he came over. He's like, she had the biggest bush. And I'm like, I fucking know. And he's like, you son of a bitch. So
You'd be
then,
like, yeah, we're
he told everybody. And now all of a sudden my nickname was the Bushwhacker. What the fuck? Everyone's calling me the Bushwhacker.
Why would yours be the bushwhacker, not his? Because he's the one who's telling about it.
He went and
everybody.
told everybody first. And he didn't admit, it's the whole thing. You're in your 20s.
Oh, why?
What the
He
fuck
said
you mean?
you
Yeah.
were the one that...
Of course, the Bushwhacker. But why wouldn't I never understood?
I couldn't even tell you the last time I've even been with a girl who's like not... I don't even think I've been with a girl who hasn't
That doesn't have
shaved
any hair? Wow.
or who hasn't manicured. It's
Yeah.
always been manicured every time I've gone in it. And
Yeah,
my
most of them.
my number is awfully high.
Not mine.
My number is very high, and I'm not going to share what that number is because if my girlfri's ever listening, she doesn't want to hear what that number is.
Definitely got to hold it against you.
She don't want to hear it. I know her number, and she don't want to hear it. Mine's well above hers.
No, I'm not. I don't have good experiences, but the few times that they have been. Most of them were pretty well kept.
Yeah, that's
Except for Jungle Bush. What the hell? But it's like, okay, like, like you're having sex with dudes and nobody's like, hey, why do you have,
be like, hey, you keeping a snack down there?
yeah, I was like, what
What are you
fuck?
hiding down there? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe she is hiding something. Maybe
can't
she's
imagine
got like
what
a,
it was, 'cause-
maybe she's got like a little pee-pee coming out that vagina
No,
or something.
Definitely didn't. Hey, it was good. It was good pussy. It was good. It was just hairy.
Maybe she's got something that she's trying to cover up.
No.
Scar or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I think a scar near the vagina would not be that bad looking.
No. Well, women don't understand. Like, a lot of guys just don't give a shit.
No.
Nobody
Just
cares.
what we do care is
You're like,
that
oh,
it's
did you
kept.
go for it? Of course I went for it.
Just make sure it's
Okay.
kept up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if
Alfalfa in a headlock, not cool.
I'm sorry if I
But
went down.
still did
I'm
it.
sorry if I went down there and you looked like you hadn't been trimmed up in like since the Amazon jungle started.
yeah, it's exactly
then
right.
I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
I ain't going down on that.
No, of
I'll
course I
fuck
did.
it,
Yeah.
but I ain't going down on it.
Exactly what happened.
I ain't getting that in my teeth.
Yeah, of course.
Not when I'm.
Yeah, of course. Yep, I get it, but I couldn't understand that. So hey, oh well.
Nah,
Plus,
I'm sorry. I like it. I like a nice shave.
well, of course.
Because I like rubbing my dick on the outside because the clit is right there and you get a good angle on it and it'll send women into ecstasy. That's a toe curler right there when you start doing that shit. But the problem is if they got hair, it gets all fucking hurting and shit.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Especially if they like shave but they haven't in like a little bit, so you get like little prickles and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
fucker.
that's. See, I don't mind.
So it's like,
I
all
don't
right, well,
mind
let me
it,
get.
Yeah,
It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna make you come, and
Yeah.
then, all right, cool, we're gonna.
I don't mind hair. Like a landing strip is fine, or just even regular normal pubic area is fine, or shaved. But you're right. The 2-day growth is not good, and the alfalfa in a headlock is not good. Nope.
Oh my God. So when I was at my old job, I was at this one person's house, and she was, oh my God, they were total hipsters, like beyond. She didn't shave, period.
Yeah, I've met some girls like that.
Like, and she was wearing like a jean, like a long jean skirt.
Yeah.
And you'd see like, she had like, dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
they have Wookiee
I'm
legs.
Italian.
Yeah, Wookiee legs. I've seen
I'm
them.
Italian. I got some pretty good hair on my legs. I don't know if you can tell with the lighting on the camera and that, but I got some pretty good hair. She had more hair than I did.
Yeah, I've seen Wookiees
And it was fucking
before.
like blonde too. And I'm like, ugh. And I'm looking at the guy, and he's like, you sleep with that? She's got more testosterone than you do, dude, because you got a fucking man bun.
Yeah.
And then she don't shave her armpits. You
Yeah,
can
I met
tell,
them.
and she don't wear deodorant.
Did you ever see the girls that dye their armpit hair?
Like blue or green?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I'm like, what the fuck? No, cut that shit. Like, and they're also like white.
Yeah.
They're like they bleach their skin white
Yeah.
or something. It's like, no, honey, no. That's not, no. Cut it.
You don't have you don't. We're not conforming to the society stereotypes, man. I'm not gonna shave my hair.
I'll be like, hold on, let me go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You got tampons there?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so
No,
you
we're
conform.
into free bleeding.
No, I see those tampons there.
Yeah.
You're conforming.
No, you're a free
Shut the
bleeder.
fuck up. Shave your armpits.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
No, like I said, the ones who are like, they like are so pale white, and they do it like this like gaudy green, like baby shit color. It's like, do you have a fungal infection? Something wrong? No, I diet. How rude. Well,
Rude.
like you look like you might have actually like, that would be the color I would assume would be like a fungal infection. I'm actually trying to, it's a serious wonder. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm like, do you really have a fungal infection? No, I died
What if
this.
it was blue?
Well, that
blue
wouldn't.
underarm hair.
I mean, no, I'm saying like if it was that like greenish baby shit color.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because that's like, they'll do it like that neon, and then because the hair turns like a different color, and because you sweat all the time, you like, it goes from like yellow or green to like this nasty mix in between, and it's like, yeah, that don't look right.
Yeah,
it's like all browned up and shit.
Yeah,
it's like no, that doesn't work like that, honey.
Unbelievable. Yep. To each their own.
Now, you know what's nice, though, is that it only grows so long.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you just imagine you had, like, a girl
braided
had like under hair, like, to fucking, like, down to her, like, side of her stomach. I'd be like, what the fuck is that?
Braided. Unbelievable.
Oh, my God. That's so bad. All right, though. I think we're going to call it because I got to go to the bathroom again. And we're already, like, 3 hours and almost there. So, do you have a quote tonight?
Yep.
Okay.
All that we are is the result of what we have thought.
Deep.
Yeah, that's from the Lord and our Savior, Lord Buddha.
Deep.
Yeah.
All right. That was the end of our podcast of today. This is the Anything Podcast.
I do a great impression of myself. I was Aaron.
You were. You weren't Simon or Garfunkel.
You were Chris.
I was Chris. All right. Have a good night, everybody.